After these messages, we'll be right back.
Here's the new Star Wars Death Star space station that you put together. Action figures each sold separately.
Darth Vader's firing a laser cannon. It's been hit. He's afterload. Take the elevator. Hurry! Now cross the light bridge. You won't escape me. Jump, Luke. Oh, no. The trash compactor. There's a trash monster. The wall's closing. Save!
Kenner's new Star Wars Death Star space station. Action figures each sold separately.
Kenner presents new alien action figure.
Bayonets glow! Quick, shut the airlock. The alien's locked out now. He got through. Shh. Give up. Alien can't be beat. We'll zap him with the light. Don't, he'll destroy the spaceship. We've lost. Better find another ship. Let's try the kitchen. Another triumph for Alien.
Alien action figure. New from Kenner.
Send in the Marines! Ripley's got the power loader.
How's that grab you?
All the firepower a Marine could ask for. When things get buggy, sting 'em with the stinger.
Rock 'em and rope 'em.
Ugly aliens getting you down.
Send in the Marines.
Aliens! Aliens!
Yo, Hicks! Something big is in the air!
It's the alien flying queen and her gruesome gorillas. Send in the ultimate space marine, Atax, disguised in his big bad bug suit.
He sneaks in and takes him out.
But the flying queen unmasks him. Send in Hicks and the heavily armored evac fighter.
Send in the Marines.
Blast them
Yeah.
and bottle them. And it's bye-bye bug, each sold separately.
Aliens!
Day 900, 672 of the COVID. I've decided to put my detective skills to the test. I'm going to figure out where the COVID comes from and how to destroy it. But I don't know if I can do it alone. I am using all my mental skills and computing power to do so. I have spent days and days doing research with no sleep, except for the occasional break. Oh, clown boy.
Hey there, have I got a present for you? Do you like balloon animals?
Oh, yeah, baby. Give me that big, dirty clown horn. Is that how you like it? You want to twist me up just like a filthy little balloon? Oh, yeah. I like it just like that, Bozo. Yes, yes. Just like that. Put that horn. Yes. Give it to me, baby.
What?
Hey, Batman? Do you think that I could use my computer? I'm supposed to study.
God damn it, I'm doing important superhero stuff in here. I'm trying to solve the COVID. You're really ruining my buzz. I told you not to bug me during computer time. I'll let you use your computer a little bit, okay? Just give me like 5-10 more minutes, all right, kid? Jesus.
Well,
Christ.
Okay.
Back to Clown Boy. It's Thursday. It's time for your YouTube show that's bi-weekly anyway. Welcome to Midnight's Edge After Dark. I am Tom Connors. Am I coming through really quiet?
No, you're
okay.
fine.
Just making sure. Somebody was saying I was coming through quiet on the stream earlier. So I want to make sure I'm coming through good. And with me is my partners in crime, the one, the only Jesse Miller from the Crow's Nest. How you doing?
Lovely day. You know, I think you missed a little opportunity there. You didn't throw in a Harley voice in the clown porn movie. It would have been a little more familiar for the bats.
True. But this also explains why he has an obsession. And speaking of obsessions, we have with us the one, the only Mexican Iron Man, Mike. You're muted.
Muted? Am I muted now?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Very good, sir. I have my official black sweatshirt as per Team Jesse.
Is this going to be some Twilight bullshit
rebellion,
now?
I see that.
Yeah, welcome to the rebellion. Yeah. Hi, Casino.
Nice.
Culture, you came back.
Huh? Yes, and joining us once again is Mr. Culture Casino. How you doing, sir?
Very well indeed.
I'm not sure if script's coming or not, but how you doing tonight?
Extraordinary. I feel I feel like I could fly.
You feel like you can fly. Quit taking drugs.
Okay. Dang it.
You know, I have a question. With your hair, like if you're a superhero, like will it turn into wings and then like is that like a Marvel superhero? Like
I think it will become bulletproof.
I haven't tried that yet, but I think Jesse's right. I think what I do is I whip it in front of my face and it reflects the bullets.
Yeah, it's like a helmet that moves. It's a pretty good idea. You should actually put a lock on that.
Yeah. Casino hair.
Nikki D sends us a super chat already. Well, thank you so much. And it isn't just a super sticker. It's a full-on super chat. She says, isn't this lawsuit a bit awkward? Given that she's currently listed as a producer for the upcoming Disney Tower of Terror movie. Feels like this should have been resolved behind the scenes. We're going to get into that. I guess Disney also put out a response, so we'll get into that as well. We got a lot of news to get through today. Like, there was no news for, like, ever. And then
like 2 weeks.
Yeah, for like 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden, bam, news.
I mean, I don't know what we would have done that one night if Shem had brought up Betty White. I mean, that kept us going for 1 hour. That one night.
Yes. 6 fucking loves Bat Time. Tom, well, Bat Time loves you. And we also have Tim Hayes here, and it does sound a lot like Tom, doesn't it? We have Mutant Bandhammer. We have Hamdinger, who thought it was annoying that Tom was not here yet, evidently. But I am here now, Hamdinger. How you doing? We got Midnight Mike. We got Stephen Otten hanging out in the chat. Batman well, speaking of Batman. We got Goddess of Whim. How you doing? We got your Muslim uncle here. We got House of Trades. We got Kenneth LaRock, Bashy Washy, Sander Hammerslag, and so many more filing in. Thank you for being here, Techman Blade, Morgan King, Eric Rung Manson. I'm saying that right, or Runge? Is that how do you say that? Runge? I don't know. Sailor Sonic's here, though. That's always good. Duck Nation. Representing the Ducks in the ham.
We like the Ducks. Gotta have some ducks. Yeah.
We got Shoom. We got Culture Casino for some reason in the chat.
I'm talking to people.
We got Sander Hammer.
I have a life outside this house, you know.
I'm not talking to you, Jesse. I'm talking about the
I know, but I can never not throw a Simpsons line in their preseason time.
Oh, sure. Okay. Well, I didn't realize it was a Simpsons line.
Mm-hmm. Sure,
that was my fault.
Bro.
I should have remembered it, but hey, you know. I'm not as good as I used to be. It's been so long. That was always one of my favorites. All right, kids. I don't think we're going to waste too much time and let some people file in here. Oh, we got Stephen Otten with a super chat. Says, hail, Tom, Mike, Jesse, Culture, Wrenches, and Midnighters. Anything that fracks up Disney Day, I'm for it. Or Disney's Day, I'm for it. Yeah, it's been a heck of a day for Disney. Strange. Strange days. Do we want to start with that news right off the bat?
Might as well. It's on tip of everybody's tongue.
I was really hoping Script would be here for this, but I think he's working. Otherwise, I think Valiant's going to hop in here a little bit with Disney's response because I don't have that handy. But what I do have is the initial story that dropped a few hours ago. This just was like, whoa, out of nowhere.
Thermonuclear breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, thermonuclear.
It dropped in the Wall Street Journal. At least that's the first place I saw it anyway. Which this is no entertainment paper, right, kids?
That's so highly debatable.
Wall Street Journal?
Yeah, I get my feeds. The feeds I get are Wall Street Journal, Investors Business Daily, and Forbes.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a business paper, yeah.
I consider this Mockingbird Media.
But this happened like a couple hours ago. Because this just dropped this afternoon.
Yep.
Black Widow has a new enemy. Uh-oh. The Walt Disney Company. Do you want to read this Culture? Do you got it here? I'll give it to send it to you in the thing.
Yeah, I can.
Since we've got Culture here, we'll let him use his reading skills along with his silky voice.
Well,
he has such a soothing informative
silky
voice.
more than soothing.
So silky.
And I can't read. I never learned to read.
Now I really wish Valiant was here, but no, of course I'll read it.
Reading Rainbow.
Yeah, we meet LeVar Burton, and the first thing Mike has to, or Mike, Jesus Christ, Jesse has to ask him about is like fucking Reading Rainbow shit.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, why the hell ain't you on Reading Rainbow anymore?
I did ask him that, and he was like, well, you know what? When you work for 20 years on a show and they never give you a raise, it feels a little awkward. Something like that.
Well, there you go.
It's like, well, that's
that
a
makes
perfectly
sense.
valid answer, sir. Fuck that.
Or that's what you said. Yeah, something like that. I was going to say, yeah, you're
Well,
pretty much like, yeah.
From the financial paper of record here in the United States, the Wall Street Journal, we have the article, Scarlett Johansson sues Disney over Black Widow's streaming release. Star alleges simultaneous release of the latest Marvel movie in theaters and on Disney Plus service was a breach of contract. I would tend to agree with her because a large percentage of her salary, and Tom can remember this from our discussions before, was based on the performance of the film reaching the either 800 million or 900 million.
I'm sure she got a bonus that kicks in too at a certain point.
Yeah, she gets paid. So here we go, guys. Scarlett Johansson, the star of the latest Marvel movie Black Widow, filed a lawsuit Thursday in Los Angeles Superior Court against Disney, alleging her contract was breached when the media giant released the film on its Disney Plus streaming service at the same time as its theatrical debut. Miss Johansson, wow, I jumped up high. Miss Johansson said in the suit that her agreement with Disney's Marvel Entertainment guaranteed an exclusive theatrical release, and her salary was based in large part on the box office performance of the film. Disney intentionally induced Marvel's breach of the agreement without justification in order to prevent Miss Johansson from realizing the full benefit of her bargain with Marvel, the suit said.
Dun, dun, dun!
A Disney spokesman said Miss Johansson's suit had no merit and is especially sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. This is where they're going to win this suit, by the way.
Shield.
How
Shield.
dare you? Wait, hold on, Jesse. How dare you? How dare you?
It's very true.
How dare you?
Yeah, once again, I went into Barnes & Noble. There's a book written by this girl. We all know you didn't write a book, okay?
Right,
Not
yeah,
fooling
she was-
anybody.
Yeah, no, man. Yeah. Anyway, moving along. The company said it fully complied with Miss Johansson's contract, and furthermore, the release of Black Widow on Disney Plus with Premier Access has significantly enhanced her ability to earn additional compensation on top of the $20 million she has received to date. The suit could be a bellwether for the entertainment industry. Major media companies are giving priority to their streaming services in pursuit of growth and are increasingly putting their high-value content on these platforms. Those changes have significant financial implications for actors and producers who want to ensure that growth in streaming doesn't come at their expense. This will surely not be the last case where Hollywood talent stands up to Disney and makes it clear that whatever the company may pretend, it has a legal obligation to honor its contracts. So said John Berlinski, an attorney at Kasowitz, Benson, and Torres, LLP, who represents, obviously, Miss Johansson. The suit also notes that an annual bonuses for Disney chairman Robert Iger and chief executive Bob Chapek are tied to the performance of Disney Plus, and cites that as further motivation for putting Black Widow on that service. Disney disclosed in its 2021 proxy that Messrs., which is both, I guess, a nice way to say that, Iger and Chapek both received bonuses for the success of Disney Plus. In short, the message to and from Disney's top management was clear. Increase Disney Plus subscribers, never mind your contractual promises, and you will be rewarded, so says the suit. Disney began releasing movies simultaneously on Disney Plus and in theaters, partly because of the COVID pandemic when theaters were closed and or at limited capacity, and partly to boost its nascent service. AT&T Inc.'s Warner Media, which operates the HBO Max streaming service, is following a similar strategy for its entire 2021 slate of Warner Brothers movies. Comcast Corp's NBC Universal has since followed suit with the release of The Boss Baby Family Business, both in theaters and on its Peacock streaming service. Warner Media chose to renegotiate many of its talent contracts like Miss Johansson's deal with Marvel were tied to box office performance. Warner Brothers paid more than $200 million to talent as part of the amended agreements. In other words, they got paid a lot more for doing what they were. Miss Johansson has been an integral part of the Marvel Universe since appearing as Black Widow in 2010's Iron Man 2. Her presence has grown significantly since then as a member of the Avengers Squad of Heroes alongside Captain America and the Incredible Hulk. Her character died in the 2019 blockbuster Avengers Endgame, and the spin-off film in theaters now takes place before the events of the movie. Well, thank you for that. According to the complaint, Miss Johansson's representatives sought to renegotiate her contract after learning of the dual release strategy for Black Widow, which she has said is her 9th and last Marvel movie. Disney and Marvel were unresponsive, the suit said. In other words, said, nah, eat your contract later.
That's the important part, because this contract was made on a different set of situations back when she was signed on to make the movie.
But the armor, we'll get to it. Anyway,
if most of the money is this contract.
Let's let him finish it up here.
Yeah, we're nearly
probably be on the same page with this.
I think we're all going to be on the same page. But anyway, the decision to put the movie on Disney Plus is projected to cost Miss Johansson more than $50 million, a person familiar with the details of her contract claimed. I don't think it's quite that much. Maybe $15 million. I might believe that. Even before the pandemic, Miss Johansson was concerned that the Black Widow could end up on Disney Plus as part of its wide release. In 2019, Miss Johansson's representatives reached out to Marvel seeking assurance. Marvel. Man, anyway. That Black Widow would have a theatrical only release according to
So did we for how long?
Quite a while. In a March 2019 email included in the suit, Marvel Chief Counsel Dave Galuzzi said the release would be according to a traditional theatrical model, adding, "We understand that should the plan change, we would need to discuss this with you and come to an understanding, as the deal is based on a series of very large box office bonuses." That's it. Oh, no, it isn't. Wow. Geez, there's more. Okay, we're nearly done. The movie's theatrical performance fell in the subsequent days more sharply than most Marvel films. Actually, it's commiserate with everything else that's coming out right now, but whatever. Some analysts and executives in Hollywood questioned whether making the movie easy to watch at home was hurting box office results. The National Association of Theater Owners, a lobbying group for exhibitors, called the performance disappointing and anomalous, and proof that exclusive theatrical releases were the most profitable approach. Internally, some executives at Disney worried about an at-home release would tarnish the overall appeal of the Marvel brand. I said bland. That was not a slip at all. Which has produced the biggest offerings in Hollywood over the past several years. Disney's Marvel Studios has an unprecedented success in modern-day Hollywood, releasing 24 titles that regularly collect more than $1 billion in global ticket sales. The movies, in turn, activate a cycle of revenue from toy sales to theme park attractions. As the franchise has grown, it has become a magnet for big stars who sign up to portray heroes and villains of Marvel movies and shows. And there you are, guys. That was it.
All right. Well, this story does get a bit more interesting than this.
Oh, yeah.
Believe it or not. We now have a response from Disney.
I'm really curious about how they're going to handle this.
Updated. Walt Disney Company has fired back at Scarlett Johansson's lawsuit over the release of Black Widow in a biting statement in which it said that the litigation showed a callous disregard to the COVID-19 pandemic and even revealed that she has so far received $20 million from the project. A Disney spokesperson said there is no merit whatsoever to this filing. The lawsuit is especially sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the COVID-19. Disney has fully complied with Miss Johansson's contract, and furthermore, the release of Black Widow on Disney Plus with Premier Access has significantly enhanced her ability to earn additional compensation on top of that fat $20 million she has already received to date. I added the fat in there, but you know. So yeah, then it just goes on more about the lawsuit. I just wanted to get that in there because yeah, I'm curious to hear what you guys think of this.
I think this is a giant deal.
Go ahead, start it off, Jesse.
Well, honestly, I think that she's going to prove that she is the most powerful Avenger, the strongest, if you will, when she single-handedly ends the whole streaming stupidity with these new releases. And now all movies will end up back in theaters out of fear of being sued by the people who are actually in said movies. I think that's good. But I do think that this whole deal was made on a pre-existing set of conditions, and those conditions changed. And they clearly stated that her lawyers went back to Disney and tried to renegotiate, and they got no response. That's not right. I think in the end, if things happen the way they should happen, I mean, this should go in her favor in somewhat, whether it gets caught up in little litigation or settlements or whatever. But it's also going to be really interesting in seeing how one rich woman can go up against Disney, who owns everything, and see what happens there with lawyer versus lawyer. That's it.
Mike, are you back yet?
I'm back.
So what's your response to this whole thing?
Well, I got a few responses. One of them is, ha ha, even when you went woke right before the release and you turned your back on your fans, here's what you get, bitch. Yeah, I said it because it's Midnight Sedge After Dark. I was excited to go and watch Black Widow. Let's just say this. I think it's well established in fandom live stream history that Mexican Iron Man has a bit of a weakness for smoking hot blonde and redheads. Persecute me now.
No.
Yeah, Tom, I know. More breaking news here on Midnight Sedge After Dark, right? No? That's
breaking news. Mexican Iron Man has a soft spot for redheads and blondes.
Element 11.
In other news, he's male.
So in other news. So when I heard what she said, I was turned off. I went from being excited. Listen, this is just me. I went from being excited to buy a ticket to go to the movies and see a movie with her in it to not giving a flying fuck and say, screw it. I'm just not going to watch this at all. It went boom. It just a snap of a finger. I was out. I don't know how many other guys in fandom might have had the same reaction, but I can't believe I'm the only one. So that's my first comment. So, bitch, you get what you get. You know, this is what happens when you Karen SJW up too. You built your own shit stew that you got to eat. But I take that to my second and third points. Point number 2 is that I think this is hilarious that there's now a shootout with one of their own, because we often talk about how you go woke, you go broke. Well, you know what? One of the ways you can go broke when you go woke is when they start turning on each other. Because one thing that we don't do, unless your name's Kevin the Effin Smith, we don't turn on each other by and large. Regardless of our backgrounds, male, female, white, black, brown, whatever the heck, green, yellow, whatever the heck, we generally don't turn on each other in the fandom. Yeah, there's a few times that we have little spats, and there's a few people that do turn on people. But you know what? Overall, we're pretty a united group. You know, those of us that have true love for the fandom and have our love in the heart in it versus our ego in it. And so my third point is one from a financial perspective, which is that I subscribe to, I'm an IMDb Pro. I'm in IMDb Pro. My profile's in there. I get all the live feeds every day. But I also subscribe to Investor Business Daily, Fortune, and, of course, the Wall Street Journal. When this came across my phone, I was like, there's many things that are signaled here. First of all, this wasn't some kind of investigative expose of a political entity. Disclosures were made. And so for Scarlett Johansson's side of the story to be issued on the Wall Street Journal, that's basically a major fuck you to Disney and investors, and basically saying they don't care about the PR. And maybe this is what you get when you don't call someone back or respond to someone back. And look, I'm no fan of her being a whiny little wench, seeing as how that she was the highest paid woman in Hollywood for 2 of the last 4 or 5 years and whatnot, and that she got a big fat paycheck. Frankly, I don't give a rat's ass if she gets another dime, but I am completely joyously enjoying the fact that this was in the Wall Street Journal, which is not as easy to manipulate as Forbes is. By the way, Investors Business Daily is even more harder to manipulate. And so the fact of the matter is that they got this done. Good job for you, legal team. And I'll tell you this much. Disney does have deep pockets, but this isn't the whistleblower situation. This isn't like this poor little lady who is making a salary of a couple $100,000 a year with kids and a husband and, and issues and stuff. And then, she's got to go up against Disney. This is someone with millions and millions of dollars in the bank. And trust me, to fire this thing here, for this to show up on the Wall Street Journal, these people mean business. Whoever her attorneys are, they mean business. And I guarantee you phone calls are being made. There are conference calls happening right now with the C-level people and people on the board of directors and the media people and whatnot. There's right now a 911 thing going on right now. And that little response that Disney did was the fastest thing that they could throw out there in order to stabilize the situation. And yeah, she probably did get paid based upon the numbers that were posted by the deal that was made. But guess what? Disney, you fucking assholes, decided that you think you're going to be Mr. Smarty Pants. Well, guess what? You just got called on your shit by one of your own, and the one of your own that turned on you has a deep pocket. So you know what? I hope she fucking jacks it to you. Scarlett, I'm still not going to see your movies because you broke my little Mexican heart with your little comments the other day, but I hope she wins.
It's so delicious because they paid her the money to do this with.
Yes! I love it.
But it's... Look, Sander and a few other people are correct in the chat. The way they're going to go about dodging this is through force majeure. They're going to show that the act of God, obviously the pandemic, was the circumstance that created the alteration in the contract. And it was in good faith that they released it simultaneously so they could generate the maximum amount of revenue. Because let's be clear, they make more money directly from allowing a digital release than they do from a theatrical one. Because again, the way...
Yeah, but it can't her lawyer just come back on that and show that that's a dodge, because if they were going to change the business model, then they have to go back and renegotiate the contract and incorporate that into the contract.
They don't. This was her final contractual obligation to Marvel. The circumstances around what happened were created as a function of the force majeure, which is the act of God, which is the pandemic. That's how they're going to get around it. I agree 1,000,000% with Sandra Hammerslag and anybody else in the chat that said that. So it's going to be very difficult for her lawyer to come back and say this, unless, and this is a big caveat here, so are they brackets, parentheses, probably inside of bracers also. It's unless they have it in writing from the statement that they quoted in the article by the attorney that the circumstance or situation would have to change if they had a simultaneous release. If that's somewhere in writing and they can tie it to the council, first of all, that guy's done. But second, they're in trouble.
Well, almost every legal contract, and I see a lot of them when I do my audits, is that almost every legal contract has those 2 or 3 paragraphs at the bottom of almost every state of California contract that does mention act of God. That being said, however, it depends on how clearly the terms language is specified. Right. Yeah, because it's not like the pandemic hit in February and they released this thing in March. They had plenty of time to handle this issue.
But here's where a good attorney is going to get with a good bookkeeper like yourself and show that the fall off in the theatrical release box office numbers are not correlated to the performance of this film, because they're going to show, okay, these films are having approximately this far to fall off every single time in their second week. Because we have precedent set by other films and other decent sized films. Right. I mean, F9 would be one of them. One of the disadvantages here is that Black Widow was not released in China. Whether that's the control of Disney Company or China, at this point, we don't know, because as the last thing we knew, Black Widow had made it past the censors in China and should have had that release there. So you look at it that way and you go, okay, so a good attorney is going to say, look, this film could still make more in a theatrical release if we get it into China, if they allow us to show the film. But at this point, we did our level best to make sure this film made the most amount of money. And as you can see from these other films that we've shown, and now, mind you, this is a lawsuit because it's going to take a while to get there. They're going to have even more big budget films that they're going to be able to point to and say, this thing fell off, to the tune of 50 to 70% in its second week, so on and so forth. Not only that, the other thing, this is the unique thing here in this case, the projections and tracking for this film before it was going to come out way back in 2019, and Tom, I think you might remember this too, they were already sliding downhill. So well, so it was already losing appeal. And again, I mean, there are a lot of unfortunate circumstances here. I just think this will end up more as a settlement than it will as anything, actually making it into a courtroom, because you're going to have smart attorneys saying,
oh yeah, they're going to sit down at a table in a closed room.
Well, and this is Disney's MO anyway. And allow me then to kind of just jump in there. I want to grab these super chats first, though. Roof Korean, the Based. I haven't seen you around in a while, unless you're just hiding in the chat. How you doing? Says, this is so entertaining. By far the most entertaining thing that has come out of Disney in a long time. Sun Tzu has smiled on the fandom for once. Did I say that right?
Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu. How do you say it?
Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu. Okay,
yes,
sorry.
Art of War.
I don't know how to say shits. Nikki D says we might get
Shang Tsung.
I can't. What? Sing song? What?
Shang Tsung, man. You play Mortal Kombat.
Shang, what?
It's got
I always get his name wrong too. Nikki D says we might get that Spider-Man trailer earlier than originally scheduled in order to distract from this ordeal. Nikki D, if it was a Disney film, I'd agree with you. But at this point, what reason would Sony have to do Disney any favors?
Disney pays them a lot of money.
Not really. Not in this case. They got nothing to gain or lose from they're better off just dragging this shit out. Now, I don't assume we'll get a Spider-Man trailer anytime soon, but it will come at least within the next couple of weeks. But not at the expense of distracting from this. No, this is. I'm sure this took Disney by surprise. Their reaction clearly shows that. Glinzer says this lawsuit may scar ScarJo's career. Now, thank you for that super chat. I don't think that's going to be the case. No. We're all kind of in that.
You don't think she'll get blackballed over this?
No, I think we're all kind of in that same kind of ravine of where we think this is going. Because look, I think you're right, Jesse. I think it's going to get settled out of court.
Yeah.
Disney's response was a bit harsh, but they're not wrong. And at the same time, she has a right to bring up these points because culture, they made a shit ton of money on the streaming side of things. And I'm sure that's what they're trying to say in their response is you'll get a piece of that, just be quiet kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
But
sure. I trust you. I was laughing my ass off while Culture was talking, though, inside of my own head, because the best defense from Disney is look how our other movies fell off in the second and third weeks. But meanwhile, they're like, look at how good our movies have been doing. Look at the stock price.
Let's be real. Yeah, this movie wasn't going to be
talking shit on both sides of their mouth constantly.
Culture, you're right. In the outset, this movie was not going to probably make any more than $700-800 million anyway, right? Yep. So her payday probably wouldn't have been that big, but we don't have any way of knowing that. And her lawyers are going to make that argument.
I do. That contract was out there. It was touted. I want to say it was Vanity Fair that like the metric for her to get her payday was either $800 or $900 million. I'll find it. It's out there. Well,
that's the thing. But here's the problem you have already is that HBO set kind of a precedent.
Yeah.
When they paid like Will Smith and especially Gal Gadot and what's her face who directed Wonder Woman, when they paid all those people off, and Lord knows what they paid off to Legendary for Godzilla and Dune. So the fact that they have done all this shit already on that end, I don't think it sets any legal precedence for Disney to have to pay, but it sets like a precedence to where it's like, come on, they did it. and they did it in the heart of the worst of it. You pulled this, and here's the thing that I think ScarJo's going to have something to hang on, and this is where I think it's just going to get settled culture, is that Disney did not announce this was going day and date until the last fucking minute, even though Andre and I and you and others all said that it was going to. Just wait and watch, and we were right.
Yeah, we were.
They pushed that idea and that's what she's pushing as a major point in this case. It sounds like to me that they lied to her bold-facedly, and of course they're going to use the excuse was like, come on, how did we know? But she can also use the argument that look at all these other films that have come out. They're doing generally to standardized box office. The fact that you put it on Disney Plus, you'll never know the amount of people that would have went to see it in theaters because you have no idea how many people sat home and watched it for $30 a pop.
Right.
And,
you can never make a movie as big by having it at home.
There's no way you can do it. Sure, that money goes directly into Disney's pocket culture, and this is where I'm saying, they're going to make some money that way, but they'll never know how much they're really losing because a family of 5, 6 sitting at home watching the movie for $30 that would have spent $100 in the theater to go see it. That's a big difference right there.
It's huge because, and again, it's beyond that, Tom, and you know this. A lot of people share accounts with other family members, so you will have 2 or 3, different nuclear families as part of extended families that are going to see this for $30. So you know.
Oh yeah, how many different devices?
How many people share the account? Exactly.
If you share it across your Max devices, which I think Disney really keeps track of 4 or 6 or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
like 4 to 6. I can't remember which.
That's a lot though.
Yeah, no, but exactly. When you multiply that times 5 people in the family, grandma and grandpa gets a Disney Plus account. So there's 2, but then you have they had 4 kids and then they also have kids. So, I mean, it gets out of control super duper fast. And that's not good for, their earnings because a lot of people saw this and didn't pay for it. And again, I mean, they're always going to want to point the gnarled finger at piracy, but
in this case, I think it will play a factor though, culture.
Well, but you only pirate good stuff. I mean,
it doesn't matter. In this case, people had no idea. They pirated it because they weren't spending $30 on Disney Plus.
Correct.
I know 5 people to every one, if not more, that fucking pirated this thing that actually paid the $30 to go.
90% of nerds pirate stuff.
Well, not just that, but here's the thing.
Except for me, the pirate. I don't pirate anything.
Here's the thing. You're a pirate, but you pay for it. I know. Culture's right. 9 times out of 10, piracy does not play the large problem they like to pretend it does. But in this case, in this era, right now, when they're doing this, it does. Maybe. Because the difference is you don't have some shady cam version of Black Widow out there on the internet where only tens of thousands of people are downloading it. You have exactly a high def version where millions of people are downloading it. And
they've been doing that for years, man.
But the difference is
the internet.
But Jesse,
on War of the Rings.
Usually, you had to wait 6-7 months to get a decent copy, maybe 4 months to get some,
unless you got lucky,
some leaked copy or whatever. But unless there was some lucky leak. But in this case, this is for the last 5, 6, 7 major movies outside of the ones that Universal has dropped with like Fast and the Furious and a few others that have gone theatrical only. They have all been available on digital. They have all gotten wide, piracy. And which movie is the #1 movie of the year still so far? Fast and Furious 9. Even though Disney tried to claim that Black Widow was #1.
It's pretty funny.
Isn't it?
I got one little point I got to bring up is that I went to go see Pig with my son, right?
Yeah, how was it?
And it was actually pretty boring. The ending left a lot to be desired. But as
I heard it was more of a movie about dealing with loss than it was.
Yes, it very much was. And it was quite depressing, and he was excellent in it. But, it wasn't what we thought. It was just something different. But very, very well done. But anyway, when we went to get popcorn and yada, they did have for $6.99, you could get the Scarlett Johansson Black Widow tin popcorn bucket, right? So if you're streaming it at home, that's $7 per family potentially. That she's also losing out on a profit potential of, right, or a portion of. I know it's a little thing, but
Disney got paid
for cumulative
buckets,
averages.
That's for sure. That's true.
Buckets were licensed items, but
but they got prepaid up front from. Yeah. Michael Miller says, "I'm shocked this went via court, not arbitration." Well, we found out why, and that was because Disney said, "Go fucking blow it out your ass. You already got $20 million."
when you file, I mean, normally it goes, you know, you have discussions. Those maybe formally might turn into mediation, then arbitration, then court. But in reality, people just file in order to, you know, launch a trigger that, hey, this shit's going down.
Knowing Disney, though, Mike, I think considering especially what we know from like even like some of the Star Wars authors and stuff, it sounds like she didn't get a response, and that or she just got a negative one, and that's probably the case. So she was probably waiting for a response ever since they announced this was getting dumped on Disney Plus at the same time. And when they didn't respond to her, they just her lawyers sent this.
This has been brewing, just like it's read in the article with the dates of the emails and otherwise. This has been brewing for some time.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Some time. This has been brewing some time, and here she is waiting. This is going to sound a little simpy, but I don't mean it this way. I just mean from a chronological standpoint that this thing's been out there. It's been simmering. It's been simmering. It's like a pressure cooker. You know, when you do a pot roast, this thing has been simmering because to pull the trigger while the movie's still in theaters, although it has dropped off, because I just went to the movies for the first time since January of 2020 or sometime in 2020 before the COVID thing. I just went to the movies for the first time and Black Widow's still playing. There was no one in the theater next door. I had to peek and look. There was more people watching The Purge, but yeah, this thing's been brewing for a while.
Well, and that's just it. And we all predicted that it was going to kill its second weekend because of the Disney Plus thing.
Yep.
What were you going to say, Culture?
Oh, I don't know that I was going to add much other than, you know, if it goes back to the thing that I put in brackets, parentheses, and bracers, right? That if they actually were having that conversation back in 2019 and the council at Disney responded and they have that in writing, that could be a stumbling point. You understand what I'm saying? Because the attorney said, yes, we will have to renegotiate if this is going to be the terms under which this is released. And if that's what Disney's counsel said, then there's a different horse on, you know, a different horse under the jockey. But they're still going to have the force majeure argument that doesn't go away.
Right. You have that the act of God problem. And unfortunately, I don't see this as a situation like in most situations where you can kind of use that act of God argument.
I don't see it either because you already have theatrical release only films post-COVID. You also have the probability of the statistics of what this movie would have made at home versus in a theater.
And we don't know what those are. But like you said, they are going to argue. Or
well, they count views every time somebody views the movie, right? So just take that number, even though it's lessened.
Okay, again, you're taking their word for it, Jesse. That is not something that a lawyer is going to want. They're going to want proof, information that Disney doesn't want to release of exactly how many people bought the film.
Yeah, but if I went to court and the court said they wanted to see one of my documents, I would be required to bring that document to court. How come they can't say that to Disney?
Yeah. See, that's the thing. They would have to get to a point where her lawyers would actually get to discovery, at which point then those documents would all have to be made available to the.
This is another reason. Jesse, let me say this real quick. This is another reason why you do a court filing in cases of, you know, where you have corporate legal matters over basically accounting issues and financial issues. And so what happens then is that by pulling this trigger, that lets them know, look, mofo, it's forcing you to the table in order to get some disclosure that then might be confidential while you go through mediation, let alone arbitration. Because once you start doing court filings, now you have stuff being put in evidence, and then it's going to have to be out there. And it's a felony to lie about things in a federal court. So this is, you know, yes, this is going to be settled. Yeah, they're going to figure something out. If for no other reason, then there's no way in Christ's planet that if Disney's, you know, really wants to be right and show the true numbers, there's no way they want to show the true numbers, because I think the true numbers will show what I've been saying for a long time, which is that they're lying, they're low numbers, and guess what? Then the stock is going to do what, Culture? It's going to tank like all hell. All right.
It'll look, you're already having investors questioning this stuff, and I mentioned in the chat to some people that we were talking about it in the chat here. If, and you know this to be true also, Mike, if Disney has to release the numbers for the Jungle Cruise, to try to artificially prop that up, then they've established a precedent. And if they don't release the numbers for the Jungle Cruise and it underperforms at the theater and they stay mum, investors are going to start having questions. So it's going to be a problem. But and Ben Saxon says here in the super chat something I'd like to add to.
Yeah, I'm gonna read the super chat, and then I'm gonna introduce our next guest, who actually has some more business insight into this. So before I read the super chat, I'm gonna introduce him. Valiant Renegade, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, Tom, Jesse, Culture, and that Mike guy.
Evening,
we're gonna get your take on this here real quick here, but we're gonna grab the super chat first. Ben Saxon says, does this have to do with the woke factor killing enthusiasm or Disney messing up release? Ben, I don't think so, but that doesn't mean it won't come up in the case if it goes that far. Culture, you said you had a response to this, and then we'll get Valiant's entire feeling on this.
All I was going to say is, yeah, I guarantee you that the woke factor and the reveal of Taskmaster was always going to make this film stumble. I believe that. Disney messing up the release like they did, that definitely was a contributing factor. So I think both of those are true. Also, I think that we're starting to see the beginning in a couple of different areas, whether it be film or gaming, where they're starting to attack and eat each other. And we're going to start to see this more and more because the finances now equal power in the entertainment industry. So you're going to start to see this, especially since the very mechanisms of financing things are about to get attacked. So you're going to start to see them attacking each other. It's going to be a wild west. Anyway,
that's the beautiful thing about all this. It's a giant, massive, interwoven knot of headache, and it has nothing to do with any of our lives. It's their problem. They created it. Now they got to deal with it, and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
we sit back and eat popcorn.
That's kind of where I'm at too, Jesse. Like, I'm in two worlds of this. Did Disney do wrong? Nah. Well, is ScarJo acting a little greedy? So it's kind of in the middle of it, and I'm really kind of curious what Valiant has to say on this. But if I had to pick a side, I'm going to go with ScarJo. And it sounds like about the rest of you are too, except for maybe Culture, who thinks that.
Look at it this way: this is, as far as her perspective on this situation, this could have been the biggest money maker of her career potentially.
Yes.
And because they want to do a not so honest, not so upfront business practice about it to try to save their own skin on the stock price, they screwed her out of that. I mean, this was her retirement plan, essentially. Like,
well, not just
after this, what was she going to do with her life? She's going to read scripts, pick and choose, and only do what work appealed to her.
Well,
right?
not just
like actors do.
She was kind of due this movie how long ago, but also this movie wouldn't have done shit if it wasn't for her. So she has that argument in her favor too. But I'm really curious to hear what Valiant has to say about all this, especially from another businessman. But I'm gonna read the super chat again. Real sorry, Valiant. I know.
Yeah, all good, man. Take care of business.
Thank you, Roof Korean, again for coming in with another super chat. Disney will buy a motion to dismiss. Mouse will burn before they allow discovery. Iger had enough time to scapegoat Chapek. No time for Black Widow. That's actually something we're going to jump into here in a little bit. But no, I'm sure they will, Roof Korean, but I'm not so sure it'll get to that, because this is a very strange set of circumstances, isn't it, Valiant?
It is. So just to kind of set the stage for everybody, and I apologize. I'm trying to load up. I did a video on this. I was trying to get it done earlier, but then like literally in the middle of cutting it, the news dropped with Disney's official response to ScarJo. And I'm like, frick,
yeah,
I got to stop, back up. Yeah. Yeah. So you guys are familiar with it. So let's, everything, in perspective, bear in mind that, just like Robert Downey Jr. for years with the MCU, his contract, you get a guaranteed base amount of salary, and then you get performance bonuses. In this case, it's box office performances. That's where a lot of the big money comes in. And Robert Downey Jr. made a fortune off of Infinity War and Endgame, based on that. Same thing here with ScarJo. So bear in mind that when that contract was written, that movie was supposed to come out a year ago. It didn't, for obvious reasons. So when that contract was created, that was before Disney Plus even existed, right? Disney Plus launched in late 2019. This movie would have been already in production by that point. And So we have to kind of take those things into account. So I doubt initially there was anything in her contract that referenced any kind of streaming release, especially day and date. So I doubt seriously, because there was news and things coming out a while back talking about how, Disney was going to talk to her specifically about restructuring things or making amends for doing this and blah, blah, blah. Well, apparently that never happened. And I seriously doubt that her lawyers, who I'm sure are very expensive, would have bothered bringing this to court or even trying to bring it to court if they didn't find a bunch of holes in the contract. And my personal opinion is, based on Disney's response, which I thought was pathetically weak, using the events of the last 12 months as kind of like a shaming device against this lawsuit, I thought was just abhorrent, just stupid.
Yeah, of all the things they could have went to, that one seemed a little odd, but it is, I think, going to be the basis for their defense. So that's why they went.
Well,
there.
you can still
She's not
you can
being
say
sensitive to the COVID.
Right. Well, here's the thing. The thing is with this is that you can use this as a defense if this is why we had to do this. And that's fine and dandy. At the end of the day, the why doesn't matter. If there was a breach of contract, there was a breach of contract. You can't just simply cite, well, we had extenuating circumstances, so we're off the financial hook. Well, bullshit. You still have to cover that. That's part of the risk of doing business. Yes, you had extenuating circumstances. And again, I'm speculating at this point. We'll find out as this lawsuit goes on. But yes, there can be extenuating circumstances, but that doesn't assuage the responsibility that Disney has to make good on the contract. So if they tied it to box office revenues with an obvious, everybody had good intent and goodwill and good faith going in, this is going to be a theatrical release. Like all the movies before it, it's going to be a theatrical release. Well, that didn't happen. Well, if that didn't happen, then we have a contract issue. Disney apparently didn't, at least according to the claims being made by Ms. Johansson's legal team, that there was no effort on Disney's part to do anything about it. They just said, push the button. And this relates to an article that came out a week ago. And now we know the other shoe was this today.
Well, and I think
the other shoe to drop.
I think the big argument that is going to be in her favor is this email here that Culture just brought up. So go ahead and read that, Culture.
Again, this is from the Wall Street Journal article. In March 2019, email included in the suit, or in a March, so it's part of this suit. Marvel Chief Counsel Dave Galuzzi said the release would be according to a traditional theatrical model, adding, "We understand that should the plan change, we would need to discuss this with you and come to an understanding, as the deal is based on a series of very large box office bonuses."
That just sunk Disney right there.
That sounds pretty.
That's what Jesse was saying. That's exactly what Jesse was saying.
Okay, I'm gonna treat Valiant as a hostile witness. He's gonna pretend to be Disney here, and I'm gonna ask him a question.
You gotta do the voice.
Go.
Okay,
Hold on.
Mr. Mouse.
Hold on. I got it. Hold on. I'm massaging your shoulders. I'm getting you ready. We're putting the stuff on getting some hot oil treatment on your biceps. All right. Go. All right. Go, Tom. Go, Tom. Go.
Okay, Mr. Mouse. You argue that Miss Johansson should not be entitled to any more bonuses because she'll get whatever bonuses you get from Disney Plus, correct?
Well, that wasn't in the contract.
Right. Okay, but that's what you said.
This is that's kind of the point. If I'm playing devil's advocate at this point, there's nothing, I can't fight that question as Disney.
Exactly. Okay, so then the next question will be, your other argument is going to be, of course, act of God, right?
That's not how they answered, though. They just changed the subject and answered a different question.
That's what I was about to do. I was going to get him into another question then okay, so your argument is that it was an act of God. You had no idea this was going to happen, right? Nobody would have known. But your argument is that this is a reason why you did this, right? But there's theaters open, isn't that correct?
There are theaters open, but of course, with the trauma that this country has suffered in the last year, we couldn't possibly have predicted this, and we had
simple
to do
yes or no will
suffice
suffice here, Mr. Mouse. Were theaters open or not?
They were open.
Okay. Case closed, folks. They had no reason whatsoever to put this on streaming, and that is what her lawyers are going to argue, and they're going to put Disney in a corner on that. Because as long as theaters are open,
well, let me say this.
Not only that,
the lawyers should come into theme songs like round and round.
Wait, so much so that I'm just going to add on to what Tom says. Theaters were so open that in the second week of it being out there in theaters, the second weekend, they added 115 more theater screens to show this film on. That's how open they were. They weren't just a little open. They added 115 more screens to add to the over 4,000 screens that this film was being shown on. So
I have some additional follow-on questions from Mr. Mouse. General,
I was going to let Valiant go. I mean, I didn't want to.
I have some additional questions from Mr. Mouse. Mr. Mouse, do you not understand the economic plight of today's woman and the suffering that they go through? Why would you deny resources to the women of today, Mr. Mouse?
Look, there's Pluto.
Looks like you're pretty fucked, Mickey.
Let me tell you what, and not to give away too much, because like I said, I got a video loading now. It's going slow, just slow internet today. But one of the things I cited, one of the things I talk about in this video, let me give you one of the things that if I'm on ScarJo's legal team and Disney wants to whoop that argument out of their mouse hole. All right, here's simples. What was another movie that came out this year that did pretty well, that had no day and date release, that was exclusive theater only?
Fast 9.
Fast 9 is a good one, but of course Fast 9 didn't quite perform as well because, well, we could argue that it didn't have a simultaneous release, right? It came out in China early, did big bucks over there, and it came to the U.S. a month later. So there's a discrepancy there, and that's the other problem is they botched the whole China thing.
Okay, so which that's a whole nother argument.
Yeah. Quiet Place Part 2.
Okay, Quiet Place Part 2. Okay.
Now, why? A Quiet Place Part 2 came out and basically matched the box office that the first iteration got.
Yeah, it did. Actually, didn't it beat it almost? Or
it beat it.
It did beat it. It did beat it.
It beat it on its way.
But I think it had a very good advertising campaign.
Well, not just that. No, I think Valiant's making a very valid point here that it was not on streaming at the same time, and that's what I was saying too. Is there's enough films that have proven to have decent enough box office that she's got an argument here, and I think that's where Disney's going to get caught in the corner.
That's where they were. And the unique thing about A Quiet Place Part 2 is that it checks all the boxes. We had a concurrent release across broad markets. We also had a predecessor to measure it by, which was the first Quiet Place movie.
Which was recent enough, too, yeah.
Which only 3 years ago. And it was enough to where, there was no day and date release on streaming, nowhere else. It was only in theaters, and that movie performed based on its own metrics in relative comparison very well. So the idea that we can say, oh, well, people just aren't going back to the theaters. Well, we've been discussing this for months, and we've called bullshit on that because, no, if you give them properties that they want to go see, they'll show up. Kong versus Godzilla, yes, that's a great example. But when Kong versus Godzilla came out, the issue there was you still had a number of places in those first couple of weeks that still had restrictions and heavy restrictions. Yeah. So
even some major markets were still closed. Yeah.
LA. Yeah. I mean, you still had heavy restrictions or closures there, but the movie still performed admirably. And quite frankly, it's still, by the time it's done.
Oh, I'll argue that it would have made $1 billion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree. But it's still going to have outperformed Black Widow, which is in a wide open market now with little to no restriction.
And guess what? Guess how the numbers are going to get? Because Mexican Iron Man just got the 4K editions.
I did too.
That's right. He's going to put some money into Warner's pocket.
Now, I have a hypothetical question. Now,
go ahead real quick because I want to jump on this super chat here, actually.
All right, this new Rock River movie, right? Being more of a traditional family adventure style movie and having a popular lead actor, quote unquote, and all that. Traditional, Right. Now, what if that happened to make more than Black Widow did at the box office? What kind of effects do you think that would have on the narrative? And then would they try to kill their own movie to protect Black Widow?
I'm sorry, you
That's
cut out.
a fascinating
for which
question.
One? For which movie, Jess?
This new Rock movie with the riverboat, which actually doesn't look. Yeah, Jungle Boat.
I mean,
doesn't
Jungle
look
Boat,
bad.
Yeah, Jungle Cruise.
Boat.
Jungle
Cruise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't know the name. It looks fun though.
Well, that'll be a problem for them if Jungle Cruise comes out, and it does, if it does about the same. The arguments, then they're going to have a problem with that movie too, because a guy like The Rock is going to have his same kind of contract to where he's got box office. His part of his bonuses are tied to box office, and if that doesn't happen,
I was
if
just
that's
gonna
severely
say,
impacted,
that might open up a whole nother window. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Is you're going to have this going on down the line over and over again, which is why I think, in part, we have not so far. Disney has stated that. Shang-Chi and the Eternals will not be on Disney Premier Access. They will exclusively be in theaters. Now, unless they've changed that very recently, that was my last impression.
Yeah, so back to beginning. This is going to drag all the movies back to theatrical only, and I think it's a good thing. Go back to normal. Stop pitching.
If you read a certain article that came out a week ago, Marvel Studios, now you can guess when they say Marvel Studios, who they're talking about.
Right.
Feige. He was pissed about this Black Widow situation in the day and date. So, that's probably why the whole Eternals and Shang-Chi thing backed off. But Disney has a mess on their hands right now.
Yeah, Goddess of Whim says, my dad would say it's millionaires fighting with billionaires. You're right for the most part. But here's another interesting thing.
That's a truthful
statement. This might open up a little bit more that may not necessarily mean millionaires, but people who are a little bit lower down the rung that have also rely on points for their payments. What do you think about that culture in Valiant? I'm curious, as somebody who clearly employs people, and this is something that affects smaller employees. Disney's sitting here trying to say, "Oh, we'll worry about the little people." It sounds like, well, you're kind of more worried about having to pay out a little bit more to the little people than you'd want, because I'm sure there's a lot of lower end people who take points on the back end for these kind of deals.
Well, and Disney's already had their black eye from this. They just don't realize it yet. When they are handing their chief financial officer incentives worth $10 million plus at the same time they're laying off 30,000 some employees.
Yeah, it said 16 million, right?
Yeah, well, it was 10 plus. There are other integrated incentives there, but it's just it's a bad look. And again, I mean, this is coming from a company who's closely affiliated with the Morgan folks that are trying to get all of the companies to people first. But that's not what it really means. I mean, it's not people first. It's the appearance of people first, and pay them less. And it all feeds into the fact that Chapek is trying to restructure the company so that nobody's on a long-term contract now. So Disney's trying.
Well, you don't have to pay basic benefits that way.
Yeah. Oh well, here we go. Yeah. And this is a good article. And you know what? Stephanie Janicek did a good half hour.
Yeah, I have to thank her for this.
Yeah,
she's the one who got this to me, and I'm going to get these super chats, and we're going to jump into this actually, Culture, because I feel it's pertinent. Somewhat tangentially, pertinent to this. Ben Saxon says, doesn't Disney have a clause, regardless of acts of God or any other clauses, that states their own rights to do whatever they want with the film? Well, that's in there, but see, that's the thing, is that so the act of God argument is something that a lot of companies try to hide behind, but it's
insurance companies in particular. Yeah.
And it's a really, the thing is that's why I was making that little show with Valiant there, is that's the problem they have, is for the act of God argument to work, a good portion, if not all of the theaters have to still be closed, right? That's where Disney falters in this argument, is they had no real reason to release it simultaneously.
Except, Tori, it's exactly what it says in the article. I said this on the show. I think it was the show. Yeah, it was the show. I said this on the show when we were talking about some of the stuff back, and Valiant and I discussed this at length, which is that when this whole thing about these Disney these numbers, that's what's showing up the stock value. If you look at the last 2 conference calls that happened around the quarterly earnings reports, if you look at what they're basically, people asking, oh, well, our new strategy is on track and our new strategy is going great. They're out there promoting this thing. If this thing fails and falters, and I think that might be linked to a Chapek's I think Chapek's an accountant. Okay, he's a guy like me. I think he's an industry guy, right? And so I think the thing is that he comes from the theme parks, and the theme parks are all about cash, and they're about numbers, and the way you run your theme parks is all about the numbers. It's about bodies, times, hours open, line links, da 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 da. Well, now that all this wacko stuff has happened, I think he's out with the old, he's out with the old and ready to be in with his new, and in particular, this whole strategy, which guess what, Bob put together, and they spent a good doodles amount of money on putting together this Disney Plus thing. They got a huge investment in this thing. When things were even optimistic, they were talking that they wouldn't be even able to be break even if all the numbers hit at the end of 2024. All right, and so it doesn't even matter that they did 60 million, because that's 60 million, or I'm sorry, what did they say, 60 million?
60 million.
Which I don't believe. Even if they did, they're in a hundreds of $1 million black hole of development costs and amortization costs that are still sinking there. I mean, this company is teetering on the edge of disaster.
But Mike, they didn't actually make the 60 million. That's how much money was actually, that's how much money they charged. That's what came in as far as the revenue. The problem is that there is a percentage, and Tom might remember what it is. It's like somewhere around 15% that go to everything. 20. Yeah, that's associated with their ability to stream. Actually, thank you. Valiant thinks the same way I do. This is why I like
that's
this.
The same exact thing that I'm saying is that revenue is pre-revenue going into a sunk cost hole, and those costs have to be considered. There's long-term costs which can be amortized.
This was a restaurant. It would have closed 6 months ago.
Well, and that's just it, Jeff. Well, the thing is Disney is one of the strangest ones right now on the block. Like, they don't have. They're big. Okay, the guys we have left are all the guys who have somebody with big, deep pockets behind them to eat a lot of these costs. Disney's way of doing that over these years has always been the parks and the merchandising.
Yep.
And what has come to a dead fucking halt in the last year?
Dude, they
parks
and
they practically killed their merchandising now. Between their biggest key merchandising is now made up of crap that nobody wants to buy. Both Marvel and Star Wars are nothing but shit.
Oh, and they're about to slay a bunch of other stuff too. But yeah, it's I mean, they are not getting, again, this is the thing. I want to present it this way. If Bob Iger's legacy is acquiring IP, right? If the Weatherman's legacy is buying up other companies so that they have more to sell, Bob Chapek's will end up being how to run your retail corporation into the ground, because that's how he sees things. Yeah. Okay, you have Iger, who's an IP guy, acquire stuff, and market that, and then you have Chapek, who's a retail guy. This, and so he's looking at Disney as a retail business, which is not what you need. If you have somebody that runs the company like a retail business, you have somebody that was in place before they brought in Eisner, before they rescued the company from that. But you have
Culture, you are absolutely brilliant.
Oh, he's so
Culture.
is.
What you're basically doing is you're basically explaining that Iger's trying to run a .com, and this other guy's trying to run a restaurant and bar.
100%.
I've always said for years to people, if everybody in the country works in retail, where does the money come from? Because there's no production of goods. If you're not actually making anything, you're never getting any real money. You're just passing the money around.
For Disney,
it's a good way to lose a lot of money.
For Disney, the reason the parks were so successful was Iger, allowed for there to be growth and investment in the parks that fed into the IP, sometimes to the detriment of the parks. But at the same time, he left them alone. So the creative humans that were part of the park structure did an excellent job of maintaining and actually growing a business there, right? They also, you have to consider this, under Iger, they became a real estate holdings company. because
big time, huge.
They not only kept acquiring more land and locations, and obviously opening a couple of theme parks during his tenure.
That's the biggest. That's actually the biggest part of their revenue is real estate now. It's insanity. How much stuff they own. All over.
Well, and not only that, the Disney Vacation Club earns you a ton of money. I mean, the reason that the most powerful division in this company isn't entertainment, it's parks, products, and experiences, is because that is the gravy money that makes all the other cogs in the machine turn. And it's the way they're set up. And Disney's one of those companies I know a great deal about, but they're going to get run into the ground by Chapek, because he is the equivalent of, if you go back in time, Paul Pressler, another retail guy. You can run creative endeavors into the ground by putting a retail mind in charge. Again, eventually, you need balance in a company like this. The best times that this company was ever run was when you had Eisner and Wells running it, or going way back to Walt and Roy. That you had a creative mind, a visionary, and then you had a money guy who, kept the beans counted and the money, somehow working. And
and was wise enough to tell you when to stop.
Well, that's true, but neither.
Well, that's where Eisner, got too big for his britches.
Yeah, because Wells died. Because Wells passed away. But it's just, you look at these things, and this is where we're at. So just consider this in looking at Disney now. Like Mike said, you're looking at a .com dude and a retail dude, and this retail dude wants to control more of the kingdom. And this was going to happen anyway, but he wants to make everybody's tenure really short. And we'll read more about this in the article.
Yeah, I'm going to grab this article here. I want to get these super chats first. Thank you so much. Technical Chat says, if ScarJo would win at trial, I would think it would open the door to failure litigation from theater owners. Disney will settle hail wrenches. Yeah, I don't even know about that so much.
It won't even make it that far.
I think you're right. They won't. I think you're right. Technical Chat. Technically, you're right.
There's a bunch of lawsuits that lose.
Well, that
will still be fun.
I was just gonna say is like they won't chance it going to court, because if they happen to lose, it opens up the door and floodgate for all these other fucking lawsuits.
And discovery, that's the problem. What they don't want is the discovery part of this.
Right.
Because they don't want to hand over the checkbook for somebody to audit. They don't want any part of that.
It's going to be so great.
It's easier to write her a $15 million check than it is to deal with this in court.
Centriviz, if I'm saying that right, Centriviz Gaming. Thank you so much for the super chat. It says cinemas in certain cities lost money last year due to their lockdown system.
Yeah,
to the tier lockdown. So yeah, well, a lot of them did. Some of them closed. Yep. But I really
closed theater near me, man.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's like some. The only way a lot of these businesses are going to have any way of regaining anything is if they find a way to sue the government or something like it. There's no way they can turn around and sue the studios or anything.
Yeah,
like
but even that, like, let's say that miraculously all the theater owners got together. If you lost your business over COVID,
yeah.
Well, now you got to go and pay all that back rent. You got to see if you still have a contract with that building because you probably lost it.
Yeah.
And then you have to get back in the building, which is going to be filthy now. So now that whole thing has to be cleaned out and redone. I mean, it's never going to happen. The same people are going to come back as owners. It's going.
Well,
people are going to get screwed on this.
And a lot of these theaters, speaking of like fast food restaurants and restaurants in general, a lot of these theaters are basically like fast food restaurants.
Exactly, it's going to have to go more corporate chain, just like AMC
the land
style.
is owned by AMC, but then somebody else actually runs the theater itself. So it's like so a lot of it's I don't see anything coming of that, but you never know. Tennille 89 says with $10, or is it the other way around? Culture, am I wrong?
You no, it's the other way around. You have a real estate company that owns the land.
Okay,
usually
a
big one, like
it's like McDonald's, basically.
Like yeah, so it's usually they build it to suit. This is the Walgreens model, right? You build the building to suit what your needs are, and then you sell it back to the person you're going to lease it from. That's what AMC is.
Okay, yeah, I was kind of something like that. I was saying it wrong.
No, you just had you had it right, just a little bit.
Yeah,
strike that, reverse it. But you had
Tennille 89. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Says you guys would know better than me, but Disney's response sounded defensive when it should have sounded smug. seems to me you don't get defensive from position of strength. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying too. Is it's not even so much the smugness of it. Is it's like, well, how could you you should be happy that you got what you got. And again, I'm not saying that their point doesn't hold merit, but again, you're right. I don't think that I think they're scared in this one. This is not good for them. I don't think it would have gotten to this point had they been more confident in their stance.
Well, look, all they had to do again, the thing that's going to hurt them is the statement from counsel in 2019, right? The Marvel chief counsel. But again, it changed. The circumstances changed, so they could still say, well, at that point in time, this act of God didn't exist. Also, we can't control whether or not a film gets released in China or not. Up until this point, all the Marvel films were making it into China, even if we had to do, some creative editing to them. So again, but I still feel like Jesse said, like Valiant probably would agree, and many others here in the chat and the guys on the panel, they will not let it get that far.
Now, before in the chat, Al Bundy, who knows a lot about acts of God because he made God's shoes, he had said that God doesn't choose the release date. Simple as that.
That's also true.
There's that true. And then the other side of it is that's the big question that they'll have to answer as well, is why didn't you release this in China when you had the pass? And they're going to have to come up with a reason. And I'm willing to bet the reason. Does anybody else have an idea what the reason might be why they would have opted not to release this in China?
I'm very curious. I don't
Black
have
Widow?
an idea about it.
Yeah.
Well, that was stated in the Business Insider article that you guys
What'd they say?
Have up right now. They that was part of the War of the Bobs, was that they scheduled this and they put it out there right in the middle of what they should have known was the 100th anniversary
Centenary.
of the Chinese party. I won't say the word on YouTube because it'll shitbag you.
Oh, yeah,
but point is that that's the excuse being given, and then you can go on down the line as why Eternals and Shang-Chi, at least in part, I think also kind of rubbed them the wrong way. Yeah. So you can say, well, this was a decision made at Bob Chapek's level to set this release date when it was, which therefore by Disney's own decision negated the likelihood that it would be released in China. So that's and again, this article from Business Insider didn't come out a week ago for no reason.
Came out, yeah, the 22nd.
Yeah, well, and about this before that, a week before that. Well, we'll get it. I'm not going to go digging, but there's been a lot of these things that are being phased release, and of course, obviously, Midnight's Edge After Dark gets Cameron Pasha on a lot to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
But you've started to see some of this stuff. They want to shake the tree. They want to get rid of of the chaff. You're going to start to see some really strange things. But anyway,
I was more curious if it wasn't because some of their problems with China, and the other reason was I was thinking is they maybe thought maybe the movie wouldn't play well because it's female leads.
That's my theory. That's my theory. And in fact, if you look back, there's been a myriad of articles that talk about the problem worldwide, where you have the feminization of men in general, and China has a very stringent program now to remasculinate and emphasize masculinity amongst men.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it had more.
It's a major initiative.
Even though ScarJo is still probably a major star, and she might be able to make that argument. Like, go see. I wonder what some of her other films have done there, because even though she may be a woman, they may have still been like, that's their argument with a lot of this crap, especially with Star Wars, was we don't want to see these ugly people we don't know. We want to see movie stars. We want to see Tom Cruise, Angelina Jolie, Will Smith. We want to see people we know. That's why Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone were such huge stars in the 80s and 90s, is because everybody knew who the fuck they were. Everywhere. Not just in America, but everywhere.
And so much so that they talked about them in other movies. Like, is Schwarzenegger hard to spell?
It doesn't matter. But consider this real quickly on China and female-centric films. The China theaters were open. This is the second, if not the first, largest box office there is in the entire globe. And when Mulan released in China in 2020, it gained a paltry $40 million.
Yeah, that's another reason why I think so too. Do you have this article, Culture Casino. Otherwise, I can read it. It's just going to be a bitch.
Yeah, no.
But Kenneth LaRock says, what about the timing of the decision to release them together? Was that made last year when lockdowns were in place? See, we kind of just answered that, but I think the decision to release them day and date on Disney Plus, is that what you're talking about? That was made at the last fucking minute, at least as far as we know publicly. Yeah. But I don't know if Culture can back me up on this. I was hearing stuff, and Andre was hearing stuff way back when that was going to be the plan. They just didn't want to make it public yet.
I got to tell you, I didn't think that would actually happen. I was in shock.
No, we knew it was going to happen.
I mean, I know you guys did. You said it multiple times.
We were surprised that they still made that decision when they did, though, because I will give you that, Mike, because we were at this point where it's like, we had these big releases. We're like, okay, maybe they won't now.
That's what I thought. And I was wrong.
When they pushed it off to July of this year, I didn't think they were going to do it. I thought that was the whole purpose of pushing it. Because again, if they had released it last year, then it was almost a foregone conclusion. This was going to be.
I think they pushed it off to avoid Loki, is what they did, so they could just put it out right at the end of Loki.
Maybe, but I mean, one really didn't tie into the other. Let's
face
it.
But maybe just to have a little ramp up of Marvel.
Exactly, because they already had started this ramp. Yeah,
but that Loki was kind of like a bad angle on the ramp, and somebody fell and died, and some stuff happened.
Well, I mean, I just thought. Hold on, so that's Hollywood thinking, because they might have been like, guys, remember Loki the first day, fucking just did huge. It did so well, they decided. They issued a press release that they're going to move the opening of all Marvel TV shows to Wednesdays instead of Fridays. I think it was because it did so well. Of course, the morons don't understand that fans showed up because who the star was supposedly going to be. But they could have been sitting around, because how Hollywood morons think. They could have been sitting around saying, well, oh my God, look how good the Loki thing with this phase of the universe is going to be amazing. Okay, let's go ahead and get that ScarJo thing scheduled. We're going to go ahead and let it go right after we finish with the TV show. Okay, let's go, guys. Okay, who's with me? Okay, yeah, let's go have some soy milk at Starbucks.
I was saying, I don't think they wanted to release it in the middle of TV shows was why, because the next thing up is What If, and that's not for a little bit, ain't it?
Yeah, I would have figured the Wednesday thing was to show that Wednesday's new comic book day, and we're real fans here.
Wow.
Yeah.
They issued a press release saying that they moved it because Loki did so well.
So, Culture, did you have this one or no?
I don't have it at the moment. So,
all right. Well, I'll try to truck through this. It's a bitch to read, but I'll try because of the way it's. But again, I got to thank Stephanie for getting this to us, because
I actually can read it. So yeah. So I think
you got it.
Yeah, I think. Well, I have enough of it. It should be fine. Yeah, it's working on it. So. Obviously, the title here is on the page. Hollywood insiders say there's a growing tension at Disney as CEO Bob Chapek chafes at Bob Iger's long goodbye, which you can understand. I mean, he's been trying to get rid of this guy for a year and a half at this point. But anyway, Hollywood insiders say there's growing tension between the two Disney chiefs. They say Chapek's Black Widow release strategy may have hurt relations with China, which I don't think is true. Chapek succeeded Iger in 2020, but Iger has stayed on to bring stability in the pandemic. Tension is building between Disney chiefs Bob Iger and Bob Chapek over the future of the Mouse House. 4 people have told Insider. One senior executive at non-Disney studio who's familiar with Chapek's thinking said many in Hollywood believe the two men are no longer as friendly as they had been. That Chapek is eager to get on with running Disney on his own terms, and that Iger has been stalling his exit too long. Well, I agree with that, but I'm going to say what happened just a week or so before this. Wasn't it Sun Valley? Anyway, I'll continue to go. It's just common knowledge they don't get along, this person said. It's awkward that Bob Iger around, and it's a long goodbye. And Chapek is sitting there saying, I just want to run my company. Chapek succeeded Iger in February 2020 to become the company's 7th chief executive, but his experience is limited to the parks and consumer products. Actually, it's more limited to consumer products, but we'll move on from there. Iger's previous heir apparent, Tom Staggs, who would have been a much better choice, by the way, also came from the parks division, but left the company in 2016 because Iger re-upped and he was frustrated. As Chapek stepped up, Iger became executive chairman and kept responsibilities for the content unit to give Wall Street confidence in Disney's movie and TV making. He's set to depart at the end of the year. The New York Times reported in April of 2020 that Iger was reasserting control because of how much the pandemic had ravaged Disney's business. When Bob Iger inserted himself back into the company, it was a huge slap in the face. The concern was that Bob Chapek couldn't handle it, said a senior studio executive. A cinema industry executive familiar with the thinking at Disney said Iger is frustrated that Chapek may have harmed the company's carefully cultivated relationships in the all-important China market with its Black Widow release strategy.
Oh God, let's not hurt the relationships with a country that wants to wipe us off the planet Earth.
Yeah, I know, right? Make slaves of you. If you don't want to get in trouble, by the way, you can always call China the 100-acre wood because Winnie the Pooh lives there.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Yes. Sorry, Culture. Keep going.
Disney's choice of July 9 to release the latest Marvel movie internationally bumped into China's month-long celebration of the 100-acre wood 100-year anniversary party. The cinema industry executive noted that China has yet to give a release date for Black Widow. Widespread piracy of the movie also threatens to hurt the China box office. Whatever. Marvel was also displeased with the decision to simultaneously release Black Widow in theaters and on streaming, two sources close to the company said. One said the view at Marvel is that the PVOD decision caused piracy issues and hurt the box office performance. Black Widow's debut was viewed as successful, booking $80 million in North America in theaters its opening weekend, and a further $60 million in streaming revenue, but the film nosedived in its second week. Well, all films have been, but whatever. The stumble is leading to chatter among industry sources that Chapek's positive reception on Wall Street could be cooling. Jessica Reif Elric, a senior media and entertainment analyst at BofA Securities and longtime Disney watcher, said Chapek has done a great job of managing through the pandemic and that she expects Disney theme parks to do extraordinarily well. The questionable part is the content side of the business, which was Bob Iger's strength. I don't know how much of a learning curve he still needs. He has been open to experimentation, though this last one with Black Widow's release strategy is a big one, missing the whole China window, Elric said. No Marvel movie has ever seen such a decline in the second week of a theatrical run, or even in the Saturday and Sunday of an opening weekend. It is an embarrassment. It seems like a mistake. Those decisions go right to the top, but it's still early and we're in very unusual times. Analyst Rich Greenfield, partner at Lightshed Partners, meanwhile, believes Chapek was right to release Black Widow on streaming at the same time as in theaters, since movie lovers are not returning to theaters in great numbers, which is not terribly accurate, but it's fine. Simply relying on movie theaters isn't going to be the future. I guess that's the quote from Rich Greenfield. One rumor going around Disney is that Chapek plans to stop putting executives on a multi-year employment contract to get greater flexibility to hire and fire, a sign of how he may be seeking to put a bigger stamp on the company. That's not a rumor. He's doing it. The studio exec also predicted Chapek plans some restructuring at the company this fall. It's already begun. Some of Iger's close. I knew Valiant knew that. some of Iger's closest lieutenants, PR consigliere Xenia Muncha. Yeah, she's toast. And General Counsel Alan Braverman, bye-bye, are hitting the exit.
Fired!
Which will give Chapek more freedom to alter Disney's power structures.
Fired.
Disney is working to replace Muncha and using the opportunity to overhaul its corporate communication strategy, two insider sources told Insider. Disney declined to comment, and emails to Iger and Chapek were not immediately returned. There you go.
Dun, dun, dun.
I got way too many windows open here.
No, you know, there's just so much
We
sideways,
need to-
slimy lawyer speak and everything. I love it. It's going to be a train wreck.
Okay, so consider this. Consider this. The weatherman did a really good job, right? And had to become a lawyer and a whole lot of other things in order to do his job. Chapek only understands the retail side. I'll let anybody else say whatever they want now. I just wanted to say that because this is going to be weird, man. You're going to see what it's like to get a retail guy to run Disney, and it never goes well. Never.
The mall's doing great.
No.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. But you know,
arguably, when you look at park operations, before he was named to actually be the successor and be assigned to the top post, there actually were lots of grumblings about things in the theme park. Now, you know, the shift has changed into the, the Marvel, the IP properties, and the shift's changed into where's the leadership at and the various executives, Star Wars, different things like that. But if we go back in time, there was a myriad of concerns. And in fact, I myself can say that I experienced them live just 2 years ago this month when I went and I did a Doomcock video about Galaxy's Edge when they opened that up and they said it was full and Doomcock said his rumor said there wasn't, and I went and took a camera and figured it out for myself. But it was what I would have described that experience. It started then, and it's happened, and it's happened again since, which is that 3 times since I went to the park. Each time I felt that it was tired, old, not well maintained, and for the first time I felt that there was no magic. In fact, my sister's, she's younger than me, but still grown adult, and all that. The whole family felt that the place had been reorganized to try to get as much food and drink money as they could out of us and as much merchandise, and it was not at all about the experience anymore, and all the magic was gone.
Is this true, Culture or Valiant? If one of you guys know this, Brian PSTL says there isn't a problem with Marvel and Chapek. Chapek and Feige are friends. Feige hired Chapek's son years ago, and son was a producer on Black Widow. Feige was pushing for Chapek to get the job. Well, if that's true, I could believe that because Feige would know he needed somebody who's a friend in the top rung for the future.
That is
I heard that a while ago.
I
was just going to say
that is incredibly well articulated.
Yeah, Disney has a long-standing history of promoting from within, which is a good thing.
Fraternization.
He was the parks guy because that's Disney's biggest division. That wouldn't be the first time they looked at the parks guy to be the next natural successor to the CEO position because that is their bread and butter. That being said, whether or not Feige was stumping for Bob Chapek to be the next CEO, that doesn't necessarily mean that Feige had any inclination that Bob Chapek was going to make these decisions, which obviously were precipitated by everything that was thrust upon this entire country and the world 12 months ago. So, and I'm not trying to defend Bob Chapek, don't get me wrong. But that being said, obviously a guy like Feige and Chapek are, they've got each other's private cell phone numbers. They're talking constantly. I'm sure there have been a bundle of discussions behind the scenes when this decision was being made and Feige saying, no, come on, dude, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. I think, and I said this in the video that I've got loading now, my internet is just being slow to load it. But I will say, I think one of the sources they named 4, one of them was from another studio. I promise you another one was one of Feige's underlings. And a lot of this information was probably coming from Kevin Feige himself because he was not happy with this. And I can tell you another source were probably the law firm for ScarJo.
Yep.
That fed this article a week ago because this article was a setup for what we got today.
Yep. Yeah, and well, you have to remember, this all came out of all the muckety-mucks meeting up just a couple of weeks ago in Montana at Sun Valley, Idaho. I always say Montana, but that's not where it was. It was Sun Valley, Idaho, where they all get together and collude, which you can't do, but they do it anyway in open space. It happens all the time. You get to see them there. They hang out. You have Facebook guys hanging out with with Twitter guys. You have, CEOs hanging out with other CEOs.
God, I'd love to find out the address and drive here from South
easy,
Carolina.
Man.
I could swing by Kentucky and grab some banjos, take some country boys up there. Ding, 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 ding. It would be Mexican Iron Man featuring Mexican Iron Man in Deliverance, the mobile to go.
You got a pretty mouth.
But yeah, Joey's right. Dogs and cats living together. It'll be anarchy.
Iger's got himself a pretty mouth.
So, what's everybody's thoughts on this? I mean, we kind of got into this ahead of the article, but I'm curious. What do you guys think here is going on, or what's the? Especially want to hear from Valiant and Culture and Mike and Jesse. I mean, I want to hear from you too. As a, don't you have stock in Disney, Jesse?
I do. Oh, whoops.
Well, what specifically, Tom, that we haven't addressed?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there really? If there hasn't been anything we haven't really addressed, then I guess there isn't really much to go on to here more than. I mean, are we surprised by this at all? I guess is the other question I have.
I am. This is what I'm going to say. This is, and I'd be interested, and you guys respond to what I'm about to say because this is pure speculation based upon things that I've seen. I've done lots of audits for lots of companies. Of course, nothing as large as Disney, but I have done a few publicly traded companies. I've done tons of very large private companies. And let me tell you what you do find when you go and do these audits and you interview these C-level execs. If there's tension, financial tension, it is amazing how these executive pally relationships, when people are on the boards and officers, get stressed and get strained. And I think that if there's any meat to this about, there might be some tension in between the relationships. If things are all hunky-dory, stock prices rising, stock prices no threat of being evaporated and going down, balance sheet is strong. The balance sheet is not strong. Someone in chat earlier, I wanted to highlight him, but I missed it. I can't remember who it was. One of the guys in the chat stream made a comment about how much they borrowed versus how much cash they have left. These restrictions haven't lifted fast enough. And we have a company, ladies and gentlemen, that very well could run out of cash or is going to have to borrow more money and find excuses and reasons for it. And every day of every quarter, as time goes by, the income statement does not allow for some of these interest payments that they want to make. Combine that with the fact that they're going to have to basically raise the capital. This gets into other issues, such as what's happening in the corporate lending right now is coming to a screeching halt. At the small business level, lines of credits are being closed. Wells Fargo just seized up all letters of credit. I had clients at Chase Bank where all their lines of credits have been canceled in the last 2 months. There's things happening in the bond market right now that it's not a quote safe space. And if Disney doesn't start making its money, it's going to be the investors themselves that are going to have to cough up some of their own cash in order to shore up this pipe dream or this fantasy land called Disney. I think they can survive one more earnings quarter, but if this thing keeps on the trend that is, it's not 2 to 4 more quarters before they have an absolute disastrous meltdown.
We'll find out August 14th. August 14th is Disney's next quarterly report.
I can't wait to go through and slice and dice that report. I'm going to slice and dice that like an auditor.
We'll see what happens. But, obviously everything, what people are looking for these days, which to some extent I can understand, but Disney is kind of an anomaly in this case. Everybody's looking at, what are your streaming numbers? How many subs you got? Blah, 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 blah. Right. So we know last quarter with Disney, the growth with Disney Plus was relatively flat, particularly when compared to the previous 3 or 4 quarters, especially during last year. Most of their growth came from international markets, particularly India. We don't know really what happened with domestic subscribers because they don't break it out. They really don't. And that to me says that, maybe domestic subs are flatlining, maybe retreating. The problem with the international subs, the problem with the subs that you get in India, they're paying pennies on the dollar compared to where we are in the U.S. So what people are looking at in these quarterly reports, for even with Disney, even though they got the parks and everything, everybody wants, what's the streaming numbers? Yeah, the parks and the merchandising is definitely going to have an impact. But what analysts are everybody's talking about streaming now. But when you have Disney that has 100 million or so subscribers, just on Disney Plus, not counting Hulu, not counting ESPN Plus.
Yeah, but it's not profitable.
It's not exactly. You're talking about an average revenue per user of between $4 and $5.
Less than 5. Always less than 5.
Well, the last report, Culture, they broke it out this is what we get if we look at U.S. subs, and it was a little north of 5.
Right, but that's
if
not.
We add in, I know. I'm saying it just right. So we can kind of No. But if you add in the international, it goes down into the low 4s. So yeah, I know you're right, Culture. But the reason I bring that up is because when you look at competing streaming companies, a lot of the other streaming companies do the domestic versus international breakout, right? And the ARPUs are much higher. So when you have Discovery Plus, who's charging $5 a month for their ad-based service, but they're making $11 a month in ARPU, an extra 6 on advertising.
No, actually, it's actually 7, but they lose that buck to all the other costs. So yeah, it's like it's insane. Yeah,
HBO Max, same thing. HBO Max is $11.90. AT&T's report came out last week. I know you know, but I'm talking to the people out in the audience here.
But here's the thing: they just replaced a bunch of because they just had this huge churn. They're about to have bigger churn. This August quarterly is right before the biggest churn of their life. Right, so they want this quarterly to land where it did, because in the next quarterly, all that giant churn is going to show up, and the subscribers that they're replacing, the existing domestic subscribers that they're losing with right now, are all coming out of India. Which is going to garner them, and you know this, 70 cents ARPU.
Well, and that's the telltale sign will be that it's not the subscriber number, just as Culture said. He's absolutely correct. With Disney, you gotta look at what the revenue per user is, because they are so far behind. They are one. So my point is this: Disney has 100 million subs, making about 450 ARPU. HBO Max, with international included, is about 60 to 65 million. But if you just take domestic, which is about 47 million, they're making $11.90 per subscriber in the US. HBO Max, with half the subs, is making almost double what Disney is.
They're killing it.
They're murdering it. And you wonder why David Zaslav is taking over this merged company, because that man knows what the hell he's doing.
Speaking of, what are you sharing here, Culture?
So by the way, real quick, Michael Asylum, shout out to you, brother, for your chat earlier on the debt issue. Thank you.
Oh yeah, you guys, well, the debt issue is insane, which is why AT&T is spinning out all these other companies. But we can get into that elsewhere. But the Sun Valley guest list from this year, June 7th was when this came out. It includes David Zaslav. Hey, big surprise. Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, of course, and Diane Sawyer. I thought, what does she do? She used to be in news, right?
He blows one of them.
Probably.
And there goes the monetization.
In Sun Valley, Idaho, this July for Allen & Company's annual media conference. The Discovery Chief is joined, of course, by Jeff Bezos, who just completed the MGM thing. But these are the people who are here, guys. You have Tim Cook. You have Warren Buffett. You have Bob Chapek. You have Zuckerberg. You have Sheryl Sandberg. By the way, they were having these two people hate each other, and they were having a very friendly conversation. There are pictures of this and video. Of course, Ted Sarandos and Reed Hastings from Netflix were there. You had Kenichiro Yoshida from Sony. You had Brian Roberts from Comcast. You had all of the money guys. So you had Liberty Global Chairman John Malone there, as well as Mike Frias and Greg Maffei. Live Nation's Michael Rapino. Live Nation, aren't they an agency, right? And so is CAA, right? That's Brian Lord. And ICM is there with Chris Silberman, and Microsoft's Satya Nadella is there.
I hope they're practicing social distancing.
Yeah, and Shari Redstone. None of them were wearing masks.
And what a stadium! How many people is this?
Yeah, wait, keep going. Andreas Halverson.
We can see it there. Jason Killar's there.
Yeah. And these are, and of course, AT&T.
Are we having a Bilderberg group?
There's a lot of very important people in one place at one time. I'm just saying.
But it's one of those things. And then of course you get presidential aspirants and government bigwigs like Chris Christie, Cory Booker, Nikki Haley.
And there's where the communist connection comes in. I keep telling everybody that media is just a propaganda arm of the Communist Party, but everybody says, no, don't talk about communism. It's not politics. It's like, don't you see this is all politics?
Yes, but from the sports world, you have Red Sox and other owner. He owns other things, by the way. John Henry. You have Commissioner Rob Manfred, Terry Pagula of the Sabres and Bills. You have
what
Bob
was the
Kraft.
score anyway?
Adam Silver. This is Allen and Company. They host this event yearly, and they bring all these people together to collude, to decide what you get to see, to decide what you get, what the world's going to look like. Believe it or not, these are the people that ruin your life all the time. You have university people. You have the University of Chicago's Bob Zimmer, Georgetown University Jack DeGioia, however you say that, Nicholas Christakis, Yale University's Sterling Professor of Social Science. I mean, you have all
Candace Bergen's there.
This is just like a whole bag of dicks. This is where the expression of bag of dicks comes from.
This sounds more like something for a conspiracy channel, but holy shit,
it does. But it's there.
This is real.
Copper India,
just like most conspiracy theories.
Mexican Iron Man. That's a good point. How and does Disney deal if dealt another blow like the government possibly going into another semi-lockdown? Well, it looks like they're working on that this weekend.
Yep. So how are you guys doing over there? Well, you know what? We got them oppressed pretty good. You know what? The funny part about this is what I like the best. The best part of this is like they're gonna have a meeting, and then after that, like, we'll just go ahead and tell Biden and company to do this stuff. We'll just because this is the money getting together, right? This is the money and this is money and communications getting together. This is right here where a thermonuclear warhead needs to go.
Right. And then Elijah Snow says Valiant, Renegade, Mexican Iron Man, and an all-star cast are going to vivisect that quarterly report.
Indeed.
So how many of these people at this meeting have been to Bohemian Grove before?
I wouldn't go invited. Shout out to Ben Saxon, my brother. Shout out to Ben Saxon.
Roof Korean says streaming service losing money, lockdowns incoming. Well, the lockdowns didn't even really help them all that much. That's the thing. Nobody had money to spend on any fucking thing.
They're meeting in Idaho. They're meeting in Idaho.
Well, that was a few weeks ago. I mean, it's a big media confab they do once a year. They invite all the big wigs in of various media platforms, various heads of universities, colleges that have journalism, media, and film schools and things like this. And it's just a big confab of big wigs. Yeah.
Well, here's the next bit of news. Not to move on, but we're already way over here. We got
none of you. Wait. Hold on, one last thing, dude. None of you Star Wars nerds even thought to say this is the most wretched hive of villainy I've ever seen.
It was, dude.
We've been saying that for years.
I just said a thermonuclear warhead needs to go. I just said a thermonuclear warhead needs to go off there. How much stronger can I go, Jesse?
Stephen Otten says, I don't trust any of these effing people. No, I don't trust any of them either. No. But looks like the rumors are true. Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall are going to be leaving after 3 seasons of Doctor Who. I'm not a big Doctor Who fan.
Not until after they make a few more episodes.
I
have a button for that.
And I have zero real investment in this, so I don't know who wants to take it.
Yeah, you know what? I don't watch Doctor Who just because of the sheer depth of how much of it there is, and I don't have that kind of time in my hands. But every time that I have ever watched Doctor Who, it has been thoroughly enjoyable. And I have seen clips on YouTube of this woman, and she is like the type of teacher that you want to switch class. You know what I mean? It's like there's no way anybody wants to spend their free time with a person like this, and that's the problem. So get rid of her. Just get somebody who's got some charisma.
Jody and I made a 3-series and outpacked with each other at the start of the once-in-a-lifetime blast. So now our shift is done. We're handing back the TARDIS keys, says Chibnall. Or Chinballs, whoever you want to put.
Chinballs.
Jody's magnificent, iconic Doctor has exceeded all our high expectations. She's been the gold standard leading actor, shouldering the responsibility, being the first female Doctor with style, strength, warmth, generosity, and humor. She's so brave and stunning.
The first.
She captured the public imagination and continues to inspire adoration around the world. Bullshit. As well as from everyone on the production. I can't imagine working with a more inspiring Doctor. So I'm not going to.
How the fuck could you make that comment with a straight face?
Once again, back to The Simpsons. I didn't get reelected because there's no need for a
Doctor
second
Who. I remember watching a little bit of it when it was, when I was a kid, like in the 80s. And it was a cool show. I never really got into it. Of course, I'm not anywhere near into it. You know, guys like Gary Beekler, you know, and Az and these guys who just absolutely adore it, and good for them. But I mean, I knew enough to what little bit I saw of Jodie Whittaker. I'm like, well, this bitch is just a plank of wood. I mean, good Lord. And I mean, it's been a disaster for them. The ratings have tanked. Everybody seems to pretty much universally hate this. You know, they retconned so much of the story.
I love the responses in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those people that you're simply not allowed to have fun around. And who wants that?
I don't see, you know, the only reason that Jodie Whittaker's character, to my best understanding, which is a very cursory one, the only reason it's so iconic is because she fucking destroyed it. I mean, it's like saying Rian Johnson's iconic The Last Jedi. Yeah, it was fucking iconic because he fucking broke it.
Yeah, what are we going to get to the point
he
where
lit it on fire?
Yeah, controversy does not equal popularity, right?
No. Oh, yeah.
Crass Socks sends in $14.99. Thank you so much. The hive of scum and villainy is Lucasfilm. That is correct. Crab people. So yeah, it looks like you guys are happy in the chat that they're gone. I'm glad for those who are fans of the series. Hopefully this means some relief, but I doubt it, as some people are kind of pointing out, and I have to agree. BBC is still behind this shit. So there's little hope. Very little hope.
And there's still 8 more episodes, chat. It's not like it's over.
And a couple specials, it sounds like, too.
Yeah, it's specials, like a limited series, but I think we're at all total, it's like 7 or 8 episodes still left to go with Jodie Whittaker and this ass clown, you know, making it. So, I mean, get ready. 2022 is coming. You got another year at least before you see anything better.
Before we jump into DC news, we're going to get into some tangentially DC news, I guess. Frank Miller is canceled and no longer coming to Thought Bubble.
God,
what's this all about, guys? Mike, you brought this story to us.
I did, and I'm just so emotional. I'm Mexican Kevin Smith, and I just want to cry because of Jodie in the article.
Mexican Smith?
No, I'm Mexican Kevin Smith.
Mexican Smith.
Mexican
Kevin Smith. Okay.
Yeah, my name is Mexican Kevin Smith, and I'm just so emotional about this news, and I just don't know how to feel or what to do because I've always cared about this property, and I don't know what I'm crying about, but I'm going to cry about it anyways because I'm upset.
I'll tell you what I'm crying about. I'm crying about my 4th ball movement today, folks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's
you should save them up.
Let's get back to business here and be a Southern gentleman here. Yeah, so what happened is something interesting. So due to allegedly his anti-Muslim stance and other anti-female types of, well, as it's interpreted.
You don't like the ladies?
Well, I think he does like the ladies based upon how he draws them. But needless to say is a little movement got kicked off here, and the minute Twitter mob started saying that they weren't going to go to the con and they were going to show up.
It's okay. They don't have any money.
And participants said, that's exactly what I say. Participants weren't gonna go. This is in the UK. So, you know, Frank Miller is man, his work in Batman, his work on the 300. I mean, you know, you're talking here about one of the gosh, I'm gonna have to say, to me, arguably top five comic book creators of all time. I mean, I'd say definitely he would be. I don't know if he'd make the Mount Rushmore list, but definitely top 10. For me, top 5. I mean, I love his styling. I've always loved what he's done.
You'd have to call him one of the most influential.
I think so, because if you look at if you look at how stories were told before him and how stories were told after, there is a fundamental marked difference. Let me ask you, Tom, which of his works were your favorite? Real quick.
Oh God, man! I mean, the one that probably turned me on the most would have to be Dark Knight Returns, because when I opened that up and I saw that, because I learned about that and the Killing Joke from the Batman movie, Tim Burton talking about him during the making of. He's like, yeah, I was heavily influenced by Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns and Killing Joke and shit like that. So I checked out those books at the library, and holy shit, did they blow my mind. Because before that, all comic books that I read were like, boom, bam, pow, pretty close to the 60s Batman series, right?
Yeah. And when you reviewed that and when you read that, and the feeling that you got is, didn't you feel that you had, see what happened to me is that as a longtime comic book reader, the feeling was different. There was a depth to it that I got when I would read a real book, not a comic book, but a regular book, or a standard book, a standard fiction book. It's just when you look at the way that the story was told,
his Daredevil's great too.
Each page, fantastic work there as well. It literally changed the way storytelling happened, the way the characters would look and interact with one another. You would want to, you would see a story being told not so much in the words that you read, but in the entire experience. The each square meant something, the entire page meant something, and then the book meant more than the sum of its pages. That's how I always felt.
Two's no,
but he's canceled, so you can't
Two's
go.
Nose says Whisper Network strikes again. Do you think this is comic gate related, or however you want to put it, or do you think this is just
this is straight going after? This is politics. This is straight cancel culture stuff. This has nothing to do with him being in Comicsgate or with EVS or anything. That I will say this: the way the way I found out about this was on my EVS feed, and then when I read there's 3 different news releases related to it. But they're very proud of the fact that they're canceling them. They're very much like apology letters. We're so sorry we did this. We should have known better. We never should have invited.
Also, now they're trying to get him back, or no?
No. They're sorry to what they say are their conference attendees.
They're bending the knee to the mob.
They're bending the knee to the mob in the most ridiculous way. They're basically saying, "Oh, we're so sorry. We should have known better than to invite him. We should have addressed this sooner." I'm like, did you guys get your who writes your press shit? Are you using the guy from Blizzard? Who does this?
So what do you got here?
Yellow Flash had a good video on it this afternoon. I caught on the way home a few hours ago, which is what alerted me to it. And Yellow Flash was talking about all this, and he's like, what do you do if you're an attendee? You already booked your tickets to this. Frank Miller was their headline guy. I mean,
right.
And so it's like you just spent to go to something like this, probably at least just for, I don't know what the registration is, but it's probably got to be $100 or more. All right, give me my money back, fuckers. You just took off the guy who was the biggest draw. It's like saying, okay, we're going to have a concert tonight. We're going to charge $200 a ticket, and we're going to have down the street band, up the street band, and Eric Clapton. And then at the last minute, we're going to cancel Clapton. Well, what do you do? Because this is the same thing. So I hope these guys.
Well, like in those cases, generally, there's nothing you can do. There's like those act of God stipulations, and those where it's
this ain't no act of God.
I was going to say you actually have an argument here,
Absolutely.
And I'm assuming that was your favorite Frank Miller there, Jesse. You were sharing. I was going to get to it.
Absolutely.
Well, I was just showing an example because I love his art, because it's hard to draw a superhero that's not overly muscle bound, right? So I always thought that like he had a really good way of showing someone that was really jacked, but the drawing still looked like a realistic person, and that's a gift.
Mm.
And I have to say, shout out to Darcipio for saying that Frank Miller's graphic novel 300 is a masterpiece. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another a lot of love for Sin City.
Oh, amazing.
No, here's one for you. That is one of my favorites.
They're the ones who canceled this. It wasn't like, some other thing came up, right?
Nope.
So.
No.
Yep. Yeah.
The organizers just went
4 or 5 articles.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Valiant.
No, that was it. I was just going to. The organizers made the decision. It was on them.
It's another Vic situation type of thing.
Oh, and if this isn't a classic, I don't know what is.
I know. I have multiple editions of this framed and signed, and you don't go past one of these without trying to pick it up. Anything from volume 1 to 4
multiple issues. You've got multiple of those. My birthday.
Oh yeah. Because dude, volume 1 is just 4 comic books. So anytime you see any of volume 1, just buy it. Fuck it.
Hashtag Mexican Iron Man's birthday is coming up.
Okay. I recently got Demon in a Bottle, which was great. And I got it signed too, which was even better.
All right. Well,
man.
Yeah, comic conventions are still great, folks. Go check them out. They're pretty fun.
I recommend checking out a lot of our Comicsgate friends and stuff like Yellow Flash, of course. We'll probably cover this a little better and more than we will. But we got some DC news here.
Dun, dun, dun.
Little oddball. J.K. Simmons is in talk to reprise his role as Commissioner Gordon in Batgirl. I thought they were getting away from the Snyderverse.
I didn't see this on the list of stuff to read before the show. I missed.
Well, you know what, Batgirl. Whenever I hear Batgirl, it's just plenty of time for me to think about something else and daydream a little bit or take a shit.
Why would
as
they
far
do
as
this?
I'm concerned,
This is interesting to me.
Bring him back. It's J.K. Simmons. You know, he's a hot commodity right now. He's a fantastic actor.
Because of Tomorrow War, he's hot. Is that why?
Sure. I mean,
well, you're the one who said he's a hot commodity. I'm asking you why.
I said he's a hot commodity as far as an actor goes, but if you were sexually aroused by that, that's your choice.
No, I mean because of what? Because of what? I asked you. I meant the Tomorrow War. Is that why he's a hot commodity?
He's in everything, including Mike.
Wait a minute.
Apparently so.
No, Valiant's the one who said he was a hot commodity. The word "hot" never came out of my mouth like that. Anyway. Oh my God,
sorry.
stop it.
It's just too much fun. Okay. So yes, the Tomorrow War was big, but also, I mean, as Omni-Man in The Incredibles, he was freaking fantastic. He, you know, of course, everybody sees him commercially for Farm Bureau or Farmers Insurance. I'm sorry. He's a very well-known face. He's a very good actor. I mean, he's already played this role. I can understand why they would just say, hey, man, this works. Let's not fix what ain't broken. So boom, here we go. And keep J.K. Simmons in there. I like the choice. I really don't particularly much care right now about anything coming out of Warner and DC because just none of it looks interesting at all for me personally. I don't care, but I do love J.K. Simmons. So I'm glad he's holding on to this role. Good for him.
You serious?
I was waiting for that. I knew that was coming. So
yes,
I had to.
And so did Mike. Mike knew it was coming too. No.
My big thing was I don't give a shit about Batgirl.
Same,
I don't either.
But this is on HBO Max, right? This isn't going to be a theatrical film. This is supposed to be an HBO Max direct film. And there goes my question from the start. Does this mean that they're still hanging on to the Snyderverse in some way? Now, we know a bunch of these people are supposed to be showing up in Flash still, so it's no big surprise. Same thing with Aquaman 2 is coming and all this other stuff. But being that he is such a side character and he is so connected to the Justice League and stuff like that, does this kind of ring like there's a little bit of hope for the future of the Snyderverse for those who are into that? What do you guys think? Culture, looks like you got something to say.
Well, look, this is one of those times when I'm like, the Snyderverse is something that won't go away. They want it to go away, but it's not going to go away, and it's this problem that they have, and the people that are at Warner Media who are going to get their walking papers. I think Valiant's going to agree with that as well. When David Zaslav that's right. David Zaslav's going to say, "Hey, let's bring in people that know how to make people happy," because you're not doing it, and so you'll see this grow. You'll see some characters returning. You're going to see Michael B. Jordan's version of a Black Superman that will fit into the Snyderverse quite possibly, because Michael B. Jordan doesn't want to do the wackadoodle-doo. He wants to do Val Dawes. I always say that wrong.
The other Superman.
Val Zod.
Yeah, Val Zod.
Yeah, he wants to do that character and not try to do a Black Clark Kent. Again, sticking kind of with the way it's going to go. And I can't disagree with your summation, Superman 82. Batgirl is going to suck, but at least they're going to try to retain some of the good things that exist in that universe, right? I don't know. What do you guys think about Batgirl? I'm pretty excited. I think that it could work.
What? Oh, good God, no. It's going to be a train wreck.
I'm just kidding. But
you just did that to get a reaction out of me.
I did. But the idea that they could retain the Snyderverse is realistic. I mean, you still have Ben wanting to make his Batman. He really does. You still have fans of some of the other items that were a part of this Snyderverse that could actually bring people in the door. And you're going to see Suicide Squad super suck here in the next couple of weeks. So people are gonna want the Snyderverse back, in my opinion. And I think this is one of the steps that could make that happen.
And Mexican Iron Man will be there leading the charge because it is well documented throughout fandom that Mexican Iron Man is a Snyder guy.
Yeah, I think that the Snyderverse can't die if broads still like Jason Momoa.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
so unless he dies, they're pretty safe.
Yeah, you have. Yeah,
I mean, in film, God forbid, in real life, is
no. But
nice
Aquaman. Aquaman, he gorgeous, right? Ben Affleck, a lot of chicks, dig his chicken. And you've got the female side of things too. I mean, I'm sorry, but Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Yummy.
I'd like to see a lot of women in a
audio
Wonder Woman costume.
You can keep talking.
Can we seriously get the multiverse whatever version of Wonder Woman where we get like 90 different women dressed as Wonder Woman all at once? Because that'd be super.
I think that'd be great.
I want to see a romance. I would like to see a romance between Wonder Woman.
I like what you're thinking.
Okay, so what we do is we have a special crossover where we have an alternative Marvel universe with the Snyderverse, and Mexican Iron Man and Gal Gadot Wonder Woman find love somewhere near a meteorite.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You are 100% wrong. I mean, nothing you've said has been right.
Yeah, well, he has to make sure he brings his oil.
2.5 fucking hours of this stream, and that Kermit thing applies.
Oh man!
So, and everybody out there right now, please do hit that like button. We got a lot of folks in here. I'm sure we have a few out there that haven't hit the like button yet. We would really
share is even better.
No, Tree Rock's right. I don't care for spin-off characters. The only reason we're talking about this story is I feel like it's still kind of showing that there's a tangential connection still to the Snyderverse that's hanging on.
They can't get rid of it.
And I think if Zaslav is smart, he'll try to continue it on Disney Plus, HBO Max, just like Killar had originally planned.
Yeah, and it's smart, and you're gonna get different superheroes that are going to feed into this, but they're going to try to retain their stars. That's one thing that they have that obviously Marvel didn't do. They didn't retain their stars. They let them die. I mean, in the films, of course, not.
Right. But no, we have some connected DC news here. Mr. Tickle Trunk sends in Canadian $5. I agree with anything Culture Casino has to say during the stream, and for all future streams, it's the hair. How can you say no to that hair? Well, I don't associate with anybody on the stream, especially myself. So anything I say, I do not agree with, nor do I condone, and it's not a part of me. And
I think that culture could walk into any college in America with the jacket with the little leather patches on the elbows, and then just go walk into a classroom. No one would stop them.
Nobody would. They think he's a professor.
It's true.
But speaking of the Snyderverse, David Ayer's speaking out on the eve of Suicide Squad 2's release. I'm going to grab this one quick because it's not very long.
When does it come out? We mean the eve.
Like 2 weeks, something like that. Suicide Squad director David Ayer has taken to Twitter to give his response on the 2016 Warner Brothers feature, responding to this at the same time to those who continue to criticize it. In a 3-page letter posted to his account Thursday titled My Turn, Ayer disavowed the studio's cut of the film, as well as a 10-week director's cut, saying that he can't take credit for either. The studio cut is not my movie. I'm sorry. I should have just let Culture read this. Read that again. I just did.
My turn up. The studio cut is not my movie. Read that again, he wrote. And my cut is not the 10-week director's cut. It's a fully mature edit by Lee Smith, standing on the incredibly sick, I don't know what that means, work by John Gilroy. Thank you. It's all Stephen Price's brilliant score, but not a single radio song in the whole thing. It has traditional character arcs, amazing performances, a solid third act resolution. Ayer shared that a handful of people have seen his cut of the film, adding that at the same time that if someone says they have seen it, they haven't. Scroll, please. Scroll, please.
Oh, this is interesting.
I put my life into Suicide Squad, he continued. I made something amazing. Hit pause, Tom. My cut is an intricate and emotional journey with some bad people who are shit on and discarded, a theme that resonates in my soul. The director subsequently noted that what he was sharing was not the whole story with regard to his experience on Suicide Squad. I never told my side of the story, and I never will. Why? I keep my covenants. I'm old school like that, he wrote. I kept my mouth shut and took the tsunami of sometimes shockingly personal criticisms. Why? That's what I've done my whole life. Ayer's post came in response to a tweet from Screen Daily's Tim Grierson, who had recently viewed James Gunn's Suicide Squad. The anticipated DC sequel has drawn praise, with some comparing it favorably to Ayer's 2016 film. Well, here's something I didn't expect to write. I really loved the Suicide Squad, wrote Grierson. Many times while watching the new movie, I thought, yeah, David Ayer should just abandon the idea of that director's cut. Ayer noted in his post that he fully supports the sequel along with writer-director James Gunn and all others involved. I'm so proud that I'm so proud of James. Man, I can't read tonight. And excited for the success that's coming. I support WB and am thrilled the franchise is getting the legs it needs, he wrote. I am rooting for everyone, the cast, the crew. Every movie is a miracle, and James' brilliant work will be the miracle of miracles.
This sounds like somebody's got a gambling problem.
Maybe, but he closed out his note by saying that he will no longer speak publicly about Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad is set for release in theaters in the US and HBO Max. Scroll, please. Streaming platforms.
Yeah, a bunch of crap
6th.
we don't need. Yeah.
Warner Brothers Pictures, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is that, like, right now we get Jungle Cruise this weekend. Next weekend, Suicide Squad. Do you think that Jungle Cruise will do well? Do you think Suicide Squad will do well?
No.
I think both of them will not do well.
No.
I think Jungle Cruise would do better than Suicide Squad just because of kids.
Me too.
I think so too. I agree with you, Jesse.
I agree with Jesse for the first time since
Ever?
30 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
Yes, since we decided to get pizza.
Oh, I want pizza. Wait, there's pizza?
Where?
Wait, there's pizza? I'm going to stay around if there's pizza.
Virtual pizza. You guys know how it works. You come on and you get virtual food and a virtual check. It's all virtual. Non-crypto.
That's why I'm losing so much weight. Eric Win. No, I'm not losing anyway.
Stop eating microchips. They just make your gums bleed.
Eric Winberg says, catching up so far, this is an amazing conversation. Hail panel, appreciate and notice you are not talking over each other. Well, we try not to. We do try not to. Anyhow, let's see here. What do you guys think of this? Do you think this is really true? Because I mean, he actually really hasn't stopped talking about Suicide Squad.
I mean, exactly. I'm just like, wait, when were you the silent non-voice of Hollywood? I'm like, you know, these guys, they live in an alternative universe. I'm like, when the hell were you? I'm like, oh wow, breaking news. You're saying something again.
Machete don't do virtual. No, like he hasn't stopped talking about this movie. Okay, you say this is the last time you're going to talk about it. So okay, my guess is this. Then does this mean we're not going to see the Ayer cut that he basically says is a complete film with a score and everything?
I'm never going to see it.
I would love to see it. That's the thing. I got to see Knucklehead's version of his Justice League, right? And you know what? It was long. Okay, I would like to see this guy's version of what he thought he was making because it would be helpful. Even though the non-theatrical cut of the film was vastly superior to the theatrical cut, I believe if he can fill in some of the holes, go for it. I would love it.
Maybe. I think the only way that you're going to see an Ayer's cut is going to be after the merger, after Zaslav takes over. And if he looks at it and says, I think if he looks at it and says we can make money on this, because I was going to make this joke earlier. We were talking about this, but I'm like, you know, you got so many people at Warner Brothers right now that are sitting around going, well, you know, we want to tell the story we want to tell, and we don't want to go this direction. And Zaslav is going to be a shock to their system because this is the guy that's going to walk in and go,
Right.
I'm here to make money. I don't give a shit what you think. And I think if a guy like Zaslav looks at it and he says, well, I think there's enough here. I think there's enough fan interest to justify spending an extra few $1 million to recut. I mean, presuming they don't have to shoot anything extra like they did with Zack Snyder. Assuming it's all there from what David Ayer is saying in this
sounds
article,
like it's a finished cut, basically.
That's what I'm getting. So how much money could this really cost, and what would the return be? I think there's a high ROI potential there. But my feeling on this article is David Ayer is getting out there. He's trying to keep this thing alive, and he's trying to say the studio didn't do what I wanted to do. None of this was my vision. But I love James Gunn, and God bless him, and I hope this movie does well. He's covering both bases. He wants to come out and say the studio fucked him, but at the same time, he's being real nice to him right now about it.
And it's falling on deaf ears because what Snyder has is he has Snyder Nation, and there's no Ayer Nation here. I mean, that's just no. I mean, it's
well. And I want to ask you, Mike, as the resident DC fan, basically that I know of, unless Valiant's a bigger fan than I thought.
Not really.
How do you? I didn't think so. How do you feel about this? I mean. Is that what you're getting from this? Kind of the definitive, they're not going to do this thing. Because he's been talking about it for a while.
That's absolutely what I'm getting and feeling. And I think this is little comments like this to me are being thrown out there because he's, how do you say it? It's when you want to create a reality that's in your head, but you want to project it out so that reality maybe can exist and you hope it exists.
It's called being completely fucking delusional.
Yeah, that's another way to say it. I don't want to say delusional.
But wait a minute. I think this is a little bit of campaigning.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's campaigning because of culture. Exactly. He's got a story he's got a narrative that he wants out there. And and then the fake humility about, I was never really said anything, but I'm just gonna go ahead now. Like, what am I supposed to do as a DC fan? Here's me being the DC fan reading this. Like, oh no, I need to take up the mantle for him. Oh, where is this magical mystery, amazing thing that's out there that's being denied for me? I mean, look, I've been beaten over the head by the 2x4. Warner Brothers and me have a love-hate relationship. On the one hand, I got all this animated great history and all this great movies and all this other stuff. On the other hand, when you put live bodies in the same properties and the same characters, things go to hell in a handbasket, and I don't know when I'm going to get something great, when I'm going to get beat over the head, when I'm going to be ignored for years on end. I mean, Jiminy Cricket. See, I'm not a Marvel guy. Unlike Kevin Smith, I don't pretend to be everything. Iron Man was my only favorite Marvel character, and that didn't come till the movie started.
Oh,
really.
No. Solid pause.
What?
Black Widow.
What about Black Widow?
You were drooling all over her 5 minutes ago, bro.
Oh yeah. Okay. No. What I'm saying is, like, as a young kid,
she's got a nice ass. I can understand.
I'm talking. I mean, frankly,
I gotta pause it a second.
God bless America.
Check out Valiant Renegades channel. Thank you so much for being here, VR. Take care of yourself, buddy.
Oh crap, VR, he's got to go.
Yeah, I've got to run. Thanks so much. Good to see all of y'all. And yeah, check out the channel. I appreciate this community so much. Thank you for all the support you've given me. Just real quick, I'm trying to get the watch hours up. I got about 2,000 to go. Yeah. So go check out some videos on the channel after meet is over. And thank you all so much. Have a great night.
Later, brother.
Thanks for being here, man.
I'm going, bro.
All right, so rant back on Mexican.
I was just gonna say, in terms of Marvel, my appreciation for example, the Iron Man comics came when I was a little bit older. It wasn't something I did as a kid. It came when I was like, I think it was when I got to college is when I started collecting those. But other than that, I'm a DC guy. I always have been since I was a little kid and through. And so, when I read something like this, I'm like, bro, really? Come on. I mean, who are you talking to here? Do you really think like you're going to speak to me, the fans, where I'm like, oh, I'm so wondering what I'm going to get? And with Suicide Squad, it's real weird. I've been beaten over the head with the 2x4 so much that I actually even like the first one. I think I liked it overall. I mean, it's not going to get an A or an A- or a 10 or 9 or 8 stars, but shit, I can't help but watch the thing, but I'm not sure why I'm watching. I think it's because it's the only movie iteration of a bunch of comics that I used to own and collect. And
the original Suicide Squad?
Yeah. I mean, in terms of I'm talking.
Well, I'm
about
going to shock everybody. I don't hate it. It's actually my favorite of the DC movies up till probably.
I thought the Joker was just so god awful. It killed the entire movie.
I hate the Joker in there though, Jesse. You're right, but for a lot of the reasons of that, I hated Batman v Superman and Man of Steel and stuff. When I walked out of Suicide Squad, I'm like you just said, yeah, it's not a great film, but goddamn, if I didn't have fun and I could see the movie, it wasn't like it was shot in brown. And I could see what the characters were doing. Yeah, I had a little bit of a problem with the story here and there, but you know what? I had fun with it. It was kind of refreshing in that sense. But I'm interested to see what David Ayer had in mind, because I felt the wannabe. Yeah, that's a great set right there. I felt the wannabe Guardians of the Galaxy bit in the trailer and in the cut of the film. So to me, that was where the
trailers were awesome for Suicide Squad. The movie was not.
The movie was
setting the falling of the shells out of the machine gun to the drum beat of Ballroom Blitz. That was perfect. Then you see the movie and it's got none of that hipness to it. And there's only one shot of her ass, and it's in the trailer.
Well, again, I didn't say the movie was perfect. I gave it like a 7 out of 10, I think it was, and that's probably a very generous 7 out of 10.
See, that ass is pretty perfect, though, so they could have made a better
retrospect,
movie with that.
I'd probably give it more of a 6 out of 10, right?
I wouldn't go that high.
Well,
you're being generous. You're being nice.
I know I'm being very fucking generous. I said that from the start, but I'm also looking at it in comparison to what we had to that point. And now since then, I mean, it ain't much better. Shazam's still the best of the DC films. Somebody'd have to fight me otherwise.
Wait a minute. Really?
Of the later films here, yeah.
Okay.
I want to see Tom fight somebody over a comic book movie.
I can't disagree with Tom on that one.
Ever since Man of Steel, the best DC film that we've gotten has been Shazam.
All right. Because I would scroll back a little.
Oh, fuck. No, you want to go back to the olden days. We got tons we can talk about. But no, like, since the DC universe or whatever you want to call it has begun with
the Snyder stuff,
the Snyderverse into what we have now.
Yeah, no, I mean, because they're
Joker, I don't consider part of that yet until they actually officially make it part of it.
There's no way. Look,
that Joker movie, don't get me started.
Yeah, if you're what's his name, you are really seriously rethinking tying that to anything else right now.
They're thinking of doing it. And
I know.
Taking the checks doing it.
You and I both know this, but
that's where I love where everybody's like, "Oh, Joaquin Phoenix is above that shit, and he won't."
No, he's not.
Like, you wait till somebody pulls a dump truck worth of fucking cash up to your house and see how.
Once again, pre-season 10 Simpsons reference.
Yeah.
Well, I know that I'm not gonna. If they pull up a truck full of cash, I'm not gonna go Kevin Smith on everybody that I've known.
No, well, that's just it. Is your morals and standards only go so as far as your bank account grows.
Yeah. Look, right now,
I'm the first person to say, look, if I get a deal, I'm selling out in a second. You can bastardize anything I come up with.
I was gonna say and this might disappoint people out there, and I'm very sorry if this does. If somebody handed me $100 billion, I would consider changing some opinions.
Well, that's a lot of money, but yeah, no, I get you. That, like, everybody has a price, right? Like,
I would sleep with Chewbacca for that much money.
I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, to a point, everybody has a price. Okay, we got Larry, who's now a Maximum Effort member, which we'll give him this Maximum Effort puppy right here. Here you go.
Larry's
welcome to the church, my friend.
Journey's driving that fucking boat.
Wait, we got 2 people.
We got another one too. Yeah, we do.
We got John Parson and Larry.
Larry, that's your Maximum Effort puppy, and we got one for John Parson, so it's good I did that one anyway. Wait, now we have another Maximum Effort puppy coming.
Hey, but I don't have the clown horn, so you guys just get
here. I'll do it.
Work.
Here, I'll do it.
I like the clap.
We're gonna have to have a really big Christmas party.
That's not That's a goat.
Oh shit! Sorry, I don't know what to do. I'm Mexican. I'm using the farm animals I grew up with. What do you want me to do here?
Jesus Christ, Mike!
The fuck.
I mean,
all right, well, hold on here. I'm trying to find.
Never been late, has it?
No. Here's the other Maximum Effort puppy.
Yay! I love him. Oh, I love him. I want
this one's for you guys. Thank you for being members. We appreciate that. Oh, we also got one from E. Clay.
Oh no, that's 3! Woohoo! Hey, Clay, I know Clay.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Maximum Effort puppy. If we did both Maximum Effort puppies,
Hey, does this mean they get to go to the They get watch. We're gonna lose.
Wait. I got something special for you.
That's awesome.
We need the $3.
I'll give him the Oscar-winning puppy.
There you go.
There you go, E. Clay. Thank you so much for becoming a maximum effort member.
That's 3 of them. They can join us now. They can join us on those member-only live streams.
Well, that is our main topics for today. We have relinquished those.
Okay.
Gotta say that Dusty Hill from ZZ Top passed away.
Thank you so much, Jesse. And sadly, we do have some news. Since there's 500 of you still watching, please hit that like button. I want to say that first. But we did lose a member of the rock community. Go ahead, Jesse. I feel like you should take the lead on this one.
Well, you know, ZZ Top, they've been around for a very long time. They used to joke around that their first show, there was like 3 people there. And the next show they played at the next bar, there were 6. And they were like, yeah, we're making it here. But yeah, man, they've been one of the staples of rock and roll forever,
right? From
and they still play live.
ZZ Top. How many rock stations use that, right?
For real.
We play everything from.
They got the great gimmick with the beards.
ZZ Top.
And the songs are all quality.
Oh, great shit! My favorite story of ZZ Top is the Back to the Future story.
But it happens. Oh yeah, they were in Back to the Future 3.
They were in the film. Well. And their manager, I guess, is notorious for making all kinds of outlandish.
Oh, dude, the stories are epic in the day.
Of outlandish demands for the band. Yeah. He's like, not only do we want ZZ Top in the band, he's like, how about this? How about they help Marty save the day and they go back in time in the ZZ Top car?
That would be awesome.
And Robert Zemeckis is just like, no.
He was like, there's so much we would have to set up to pull that off.
But yeah, they are in the film, and that's pretty cool. And yeah, rip Dusty Hill. I mean, gosh, there's only 3 of the guys, like you said. So
yeah, ton of songs.
Heartbreaking. Every girl's crazy about a shot-dressed man.
Well, tons of hits. She's got legs. She knows how to use them.
Sad, man.
How.
Wow. He was great at that.
Oh, they got some great tunes.
Spinning the guitars. That was their bit, man. They had to have special belts made to do that shit.
Oh my God, I have the bestest idea ever. Me and Jesse, we grow our hair long and we form a band with Culture and we do ZZ Top songs.
That was great.
I used to have long hair.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, I didn't know what half the words were.
You can probably play that, can't you?
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's pretty easy. It's just E.G.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll play bass on that one.
I'll get a guitar.
Everybody's crazy about a taco selling Mexican.
It's a bummer, man. Because think about it. Think about how many times those guys appeared in the 80s, right? And like the stuff we like paid attention to. I mean, they were like one of the like the breakouts on MTV, right? I mean, these like freaking long-haired hippie beard rocking old dudes. Freaking love that.
Golgo 13 says, and Captain, thanks for restoring my faith in 98th rule of acquisition. Every man has his price. At Mexican Iron Man, that Batman collection looked legit.
Yeah, dude. Are you talking about that giant set they just put out?
No, the giant set that Mexican Iron Man
put out. I just showed on screen.
I think it came out last year, but it's like got all 30 or 35 of the Batman.
All of them.
Yeah.
It is epic.
Nice.
Hold on.
Ladies, here's quick ZZ Top.
Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Midnight's Edge After Dark tonight, performing live, the great Jesse Miller from the Crow's Nest.
For about 5 seconds. But Tush is just like this.
That's Tush. I get up. I get down.
But then LaGrange, it's just an A chord, right? Yeah. And then you use the C
A and G,
and then the D.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then he goes into the bigger bar chords.
From spreading round in that Texas town, about the shack outside LaGrange.
Well, he will be missed.
Oh my God.
Here's
Dude,
to Dusty.
we lost so many people. This has been like the last 2 years.
What
is
crazy?
been,
I also want to toss it out there that today he's being overshadowed by Dusty Hill because of his legendary career. But the drummer from Slipknot passed away as well.
Yeah, Jodie, right? Yeah.
Oh, wow. Young, I imagine.
Oh, 41? 40?
Wow.
That is young. That sucks.
Oh, shit. That's too bad. Oh, my goodness. We got
Welcome to the cult.
Puppy.
What?
Etienne Faladora. If I'm saying that right. Falardo. Falardo. I am so sorry. Etienne.
Did you just say Cotton Eye Joe?
Hey,
yeah,
welcome.
I'm for Cotton Eye Joe. I've been married a long time.
All right. What can we do for a fella?
We got a minimum effort puppy, so he gets the cutie. He gets the cutie here. Where is he at? Here he is. The classic, the OG minimum effort puppy. That's right.
Yes. Oh my God.
That is
Welcome.
classic.
Hey, so I feel like for the members only live stream, we should do something special. Like I don't know, what can we do? Maybe we should all put on wigs and we'll do some music.
I don't know. We'll figure something out.
I can play the tambourine and the cowbell.
I know we're due for one on Mead, so I gotta. I'll probably have to do one this weekend. It's probably
Let's do it, bro. I'm available. Let's do it.
Who knows? Maybe we'll cross over with some karaoke because I know that worked out real well that one time.
Ooh.
Can I do that? Because I sing.
Positively.
Etienne says his wife says it. Etienne. He says minimum effort. What my wife usually says.
Hey now.
Oh. Stephen Otten says I can only suggest playing the trailer for Lamb. That's how I helped drive Nina's stream straight into the dumper last night.
What's Lamb? Oh, that thing with the little baby lamb guy thing.
Wait a minute. My boy Ben Saxon just became a member.
He did.
Hey!
And he is a maximum effort puppy. Here we go.
The church is growing.
Let's do this one again. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much.
But wait.
I wish I was on that boat
Look at
right
that.
now.
Wait, is
Oh
that
my
real?
gosh, there's somebody else coming in with another maximum effort puppy.
Oh my goodness, we got another maximum effort puppy joining Jim Bobwe.
We're gonna get a mega church in like a year.
Jim Bobwe.
All right.
Zimbabwe. That's probably what it is.
Zimbabwe. Yes. Jim Bob.
And
What's up, Jim
Strut.
Bob? Oh, I like
And
it.
that
I like
means
his
you get
avatar
Strut.
picture. I like Jim Bob's avatar picture. That's cool with
me
the hat. I like that. You know what? That's what I need for all
He's
the
a
abuse.
hard-working man.
I need a hard hat. That's for
He
all the
wears a
abuse I
steel
take here
hard
at the
hat.
taco stand in the back of the auditorium.
It's raining dogs. One more thing. Says
You know that they make you wear a hard hat when you're up on a roof?
Tina Boy.
There's a bunch of rules
Thank
now.
you so much.
I'm like, why am I wearing a hard hat on a roof?
Oh, she's the cute little minimum effort puppy. Let's get him up here. Where you at, buddy? There he is. Here's a minimum effort puppy.
Freaking adorable.
He's like, when do I get to stop? We'll give her a
I don't
lazy
know, but he
puppy.
gets all the treats.
Just because lazy puppy's got a cute butt.
This one already got all the treats.
Yes, he did. He's like, I am king.
He's like,
That's
I
so
can't
like
walk. If I was a human, I'd have a rascal right now.
I so want him. I want him.
You got to get the Roomba too, though. Otherwise, he can't get around and he'll starve.
Well, I need a couple Roombas anyway.
He has to wait for the Roomba to go near his food bowl.
So what video do we play for Congo level? Congo level, I generally play like a bigger, longer video. Like either a Superman, I almost called it Superman. Batman.
Monkey Jubas has joined the cult.
Holy crap! Holy, you guys, you're really. Oh, you got to remember. We're gonna give you a board corgi.
Woohoo! Monkey G-Bus.
I'm warning you all right now that our Messiah is Christopher Walken.
Woohoo! Monkey G-Bus. Monkey G-Bus has been around a long time.
I don't have any. I need more buttons. I need to get more buttons.
Just come up with anything.
There we go.
We need a monkey button. We need a monkey button for.
We have to do something special for all these damn people.
I like that. I like the Batman thing.
It's like half the chat now.
And you got the smack Brie.
Oh, okay.
I can embarrass Ryan Cannell. Should I embarrass Ryan Cannell?
Oh, sure.
Let me see the penis.
Wait, what?
Let me see the penis.
Something tells me that's slightly out of context.
Okay. Valiant didn't get a Congo level video. Huh. Oh boy.
Oh, here we go.
What is a Congo level video? Let's
Hopefully
see.
it has Foghorn in it.
Okay, you get a Batman video.
Where the fuck is everybody? This is really goddamn boring. Alfred, what the hell is going on? Where is everybody?
They're self-isolating because of COVID, sir.
COVID? A new villain for me to squash?
No, sir. A virus.
Joker released a virus?
No, sir. This came from China.
China White?
The country, sir.
Ah, shit.
Yes, sir.
No way I'm going back to China again. That cost a fortune. I had to rent a plane, a boat, and an entire ballet. And you know I hate the ballet.
Yes, sir.
What do I say, Alfred?
You will date a ballerina,
But
you
I
won't
won't
sit
sit
through
through a ballet. Fucking A.
Yes, sir.
That's right. The flight of my son. It was the last thing I saw before my parents were shot. And it's a ballet.
Yes, sir.
Ah, fuck. Now what am I supposed to do?
Fred Sacco sends in a $5 super chat, says, will Jodie Whittaker regenerate into Olympic power lifter? She will, named LGBT law. Sure hope so. What would be so, that would be so stunning and brave. Let's get everybody's real quick predictions. What do you think they're going to do next? My prediction is Peter Dinklage in blackface.
Whoa. I'm speechless.
Oh man, I look again. Only Ryan Cannell can answer this for me.
Let me see the penis.
So no, look. Okay, I think they're going to get the guy that decided that he's Korean.
Shit.
Who? Dennis Rodman?
No, the the UK guy. Oh God, I can't remember his name. We talked about it on this channel 3 weeks ago.
We talk about a lot of shit on this channel.
I know.
It's wacky.
Oh God, yeah, but I don't smoke, so I.
Somebody said something about Congo, so I showed up.
Oh wait, Congo.
What was the point of Amy in Congo? What did she really accomplish? Yeah,
She was there to sell figures, right? Like the little kids, they like the Amy because Amy's sad. Amy's sad. Amy's scared. Amy's scared. It didn't work out.
Okay, but now I have another question. Now, first off, it was Ernie Hudson. It was Ernie Hudson in that movie, right? As the badass,
right?
Now he did an excellent job, I thought.
Yes.
So he was like great. But you also at the very beginning of that movie had Bruce Campbell. Right now, did you only have Bruce Campbell in that opening scene because he's like such a quintessential look for like an action adventure hero, and you wanted to have that up front? But like it confused me because it's like if you get Bruce Campbell, I assume you would try to use him longer.
Well, the thing with Bruce Campbell is this: see, he is such a manly man that a movie can only stand so much of him. And when you have Ernie Hudson in there plus Bruce Campbell, that is too much testosterone.
You think they would have just like killed all the monkeys and that
It
would
would
have
have been like a
short?
clash of testosterone like you wouldn't have believed. Those monkeys wouldn't have had a chance.
Yep, it would have been like double clotheslines and like a 3D followed
Exactly.
up by like the
Why do you think I had to
device.
throw Tim Curry in there? You needed a balance, right? You need a sweet transvestite to kind of balance this shit out. And he's like, quit eating my sesame cake. That's my favorite bit.
I wish that he was immortal because it's like he's such a treat.
He's not.
You're not going to get another one of him.
Wait, Tim Curry's not immortal? I got shits I got to do.
I don't think so, sadly.
I got to go shoot Congo too. I'll be back. Congo.
I'd watch Congo too, but you know I'm me.
Yeah, I don't think anybody could turn down Congo too.
I certainly can't. He could give Amy a kitten.
So yeah, we're gonna probably do something for all you members this this weekend.
Can we do it Sunday?
It's Sunday.
On Sunday, I'm going to be at Terrificon, begging Adrian
Or late
Paul to
Sunday
come on
night or
Midnight's
Saturday
Edge.
night? Or
Probably
Saturday
Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, maybe.
Yeah, anytime. I'm tied up.
We'll see.
Until 7.
Okay.
Which is 6 your time.
That's when ScarJo leaves.
Yeah, I wish ScarJo was leaving.
That's when her husband comes home.
Mexican Iron Man. Mexican Iron Man would teach. Wait, what was that? I didn't catch that joke. Mexican Iron Man would teach her a good lesson about how to be a taco farmer. You know what I mean?
Jesse said that's when her husband comes home. Fred Sacco says if it's Power Lifter, the TARDIS can break down because it's tranny when. Oh, give me that bump.
That reminds me.
You got something like that?
I had made a joke about Corona before, but nobody caught it.
What?
Oh, like
I stole that joke from Brian.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's the Price is Right noise. And then after that, you hear Bob going, "Oh, I'm sorry."
And then she was hot. He'd be like, "Now reach in my hand and find the $100 bill, honey."
Now reach in my pocket and find the $100 bill. It's a little more to the left.
And she's like, "I found the roll," and he's like, "Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did." He's like, "Now you're gonna have to spin a little harder than that."
He is like the quintessential pimp.
Yeah,
he is. Dude, Bob Barker was amazeballs.com.
Yes, Adrian Paul.
Yeah, I'm gonna beg him to come on the show.
Why not?
Oh, sweet. Get him on.
I'll do my best.
Will you suck his dick to get him on the show?
No, but I don't really think he swings that way. He looks like he'd get more pussy than I ever could.
I just had to ask. I want to know how far you're willing to go for this show.
Willing to have security look at me funny and have his handlers. I hope he doesn't have handlers. Handlers always fuck up everything.
They do.
I don't know if he's big enough anymore to have handlers. Oh, shouldn't have said that.
Wow, that's weird. I don't go around measuring other dudes' stuff.
I wasn't talking.
He was a fucking Highlander. He doesn't need fucking people to defend him or protect him from fans.
I don't know.
He probably has a sword in his fucking trunk anyway.
Sword?
A sword. You got to put that W in there.
I'll take I'll take Schwartz for 500, Alex.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't use the Schwartz.
Unless Adrian Paul, unless you're asking who Adrian Paul is 6, and then the answer would be he's from Highlander the series. But
yes.
Mamlander. Hey, Mexican Iron Man, say Taco Bell again.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Why are you so fucking racist?
Why? How's that racist? How are tacos racist?
No, culture.
That's not racist.
He's making you say that shit.
What?
No.
That's not racist at all. Are you kidding me? Come on.
Ben Saxon's like, I have the black eye. Yes, he has handlers. That would be bodyguards. There's a bit of a difference.
Are we at random announcements yet?
I thought so, 6, but I was just making sure. Sorry. Yeah, we are gonna try. Jesse's gonna see him Sunday.
All right, I got a few announcements.
All I could do is get in line and then try to give him a good quick spiel.
I'm a crazy motherfucker, and I want to know. You want to get high? That's what you're gonna say to him, right?
And tell him that in the future he'll get a metallic business card.
Yes, I just gotta tell him, look, this channel's got 200,000 subscribers. They love Highlander, so you got a golden ticket. Come advertise anything you want, and we'll talk about everything. The longer you're there, the better. So,
Marks, I was kidding.
But speaking of Tom McDonald, great rapper, awesome. Guy's hitting the charts regular, not represented by a label. He's just kicking everybody's ass.
He's making a shit ton of money.
6 wants to know what Adrian Paul smells like. I was say, you can tell her what I smell like. I smell like cottage cheese and toast.
Right now,
I tell him the chat wants to know what cologne you wear.
Right now, I smell like.
Did I stink when I was out in Vegas?
No. I think I probably smelled because it was Vegas and it was really hot out.
No, you like that one day you didn't like sleep at all and didn't like change.
Oh, one day I was just like playing Big Lebowski all day.
But see, you didn't smell like BO or nothing. You just smelled a little bit like alcohol. That was.
By the way, if you want to meet the Big Lebowski, I will be in Vegas from August 11th through the 15th.
Are you going to just chill at the bar with the White Russians? Because they do doubles and they're delicious.
They would think everybody would come up to you for like.
What are you talking about? Double what?
Doubles, man. Twice as
what?
much booze in it.
Yeah, dude, they knock it twice with the real stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
You know what, Mexican Iron Man? Just say say Taco Bell again.
Taco Bell.
Tequila.
There you go. I feel better.
Yo quiero Taco Bell. There's a story I can't really tell on air, but it's such a troll and it's
Project
great.
Cambrian. Cheese is really good.
Oh, dude, I love cheese. Okay, so if you want to have the perfect keto diet, bacon, avocado, cheese. No. It's
That sounds good.
That's exactly what I smell like.
Excellent.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I probably.
You know what's
smell
an
like
attractive smell to women? Is no. It's the faint smell of weed and laundry detergent, because that means that like you're laid back, but you're still kind of responsible.
God damn it, Kitty! Quit knocking shit over. Your Muslim uncle sent in $4.99, says my Muslim sister should have had Marble canceled from the event. Ms. Marble is the most purse puppy anti-Muslim thing I've even seen. Did you hear that got pushed back a little bit now?
Oh yeah. It got bumped. But no, yeah. But dude, it's gonna have problems. That thing, they already know it's gonna have problems. There's all these I can't. All these Disney Plus shows have so many problems in them from the beginning. I know, but it's like they are constantly trying to balance. How do we not piss people off? So the editing is like 100 all the time. And when they do a reshoot, it's for like words, like 4 sentences in a scene. So they'll bring in like 25 people to like get 8 words differently, because they can't do that in, we used to call it loop back. I don't know it's called ADR or some shit now. Anyway, but it's just like they can't do it. So it's like, and they'll spend ridiculous amounts of money to unfuzzle stuff. It's unbelievable. And they had to do so much to make Black Widow fit in with Loki, fit in with WandaVision, fit in with freaking Doctor Strange, so that the Spider-Man thing that they were doing with Sony didn't get jacked up. I mean, I'm not kidding. It's insane.
It took a lot of crack.
Yo, it was insane. If it weren't for these stagecraft stages, they'd be in big trouble.
Culture, you know what my problem is? It started with WandaVision. The reason I didn't even go for it in the first place was that it looked like it was like kind of like one of those early 90s show, or even go back maybe a little bit further to like a Twin Peaks-ish thing, or like an Erie in Indiana from the 90s, where it was like just some weird show, and they could have just made like a weird show and made it original, but they had to put a Marvel skin on top of it to sell it. That's how that kind of felt to me. So I didn't, like, it turned me off before even.
So here's the weird thing. So I think I saw the worst Marvel television show that never made it out into the world. I think Tom was subjected to the first half of it over on Mad Mardigan's channel, Mad Barber Entertainment. We were watching the Fantastic Four.
Oh, I've seen it quite a few times, yeah.
It was terrible.com.
I saw the old movie that was unreleased.
I argue that movie was made for $1 million. And it's still the closest to the comic we've ever gotten. Sorry,
it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
That was an accident because we got Script Doctor. I was trying to add him too.
Oh, hey, Script.
Script, you're fucking late as hell.
Dude, I love you, man.
Yeah, I sorry, guys. I fell asleep as soon as I got home from work.
I knew it.
That's what happens when you go to work all day.
Fired. You're unfired. I need you. Come here.
No, wait. We need Script Doctor. Take me out first if we're going to fire it. No, don't fire me.
No, you just got unfired. Play that. I flipping knew
it. Unfired me, yeah.
And I did know it. He was sleeping. I had a feeling.
I'm like, Script's still mad at me from Tuesday. I'm like, then I thought about, for what?
That's why he didn't come
in. I'm not mad at anybody.
I'm just kidding.
Script is not only handsome, but he's Canadian.
Kevin!
Which makes him harmless.
I thought you were going to say a piece of Canadian bacon.
He is.
I'm delicious. Yeah, there's that.
That's what he sounds like Canadian bacon. DCB Titan says Tim Curry was the best part of Brutal Legend. I don't think I've seen Brutal Legend.
Tim Curry is the best part of a lot of things. Let's face it.
Isn't he in Legend?
Legend was awesome. He was the devil. He was in the Muppet Treasure Island. That was awesome.
Man. Tim Curry is great in anything. Tim Curry would be great in line at the market.
God, could you imagine being stuck in a line with him? I would use every bit of that time.
Oh God, I got the wrong cereal.
Dude, and he's so great. So he did a guest appearance.
I have to go back and get it. Start at the end of the line.
He did a guest spot in a 2-parter about serial killers on Criminal Minds.
God, I remember that. He was a crackhead in the Blackout.
It was incredible.
Holy shit, I forgot about that.
Dude can act his ass off. I mean, it doesn't matter what he does. He was an Annie freaking. I'm sorry. As someone who grew up doing like in an art house, like going every weekend to be freaking Frankenfurter or whatever. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Plus, he played Captain Hook in the animated Peter Pan from Fox. He did a million different things. His voice is just amazing. It's indispensable in animation, really.
He has this one character on Freakazoid where he's kind of repeating another Bond, like a Bond villain. It's like, they called me mad, they called me crazy, they called me Wendell, and you're just like, the way he delivers it is just brilliant.
Hey, real quick, I got to give it in case my boy goes to bed. Hold on, let me turn the camera on. This is to my boy John, the casual artist, who after hearing my He-Man rants over the weekend, nice. This is a digital printout. He said he drew this on his notepad with ballpoint pens. All right. And he said that he just did this for me because he had heard how much I was a He-Man fan. I'm getting emotional, bro. This was huge. So he sends this to me to cheer me up because he said I had a bad He-Man weekend. So John, the casual artist, hope you're still in stream. John, it's on my Twitter feed. So he sent this to me, posted on my wall, and then I blew it up, and then I printed on my color printer. I'm going to put on a frame behind me and put it up on the wall. So thank you, John. Love you, brother.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Oh my God.
You should upload that and cut it out so you could alter the different colors and put in thumbnails and shit.
Yeah, I mean that's amazing. It's beautiful. And Tim Curry's one of my favorite roles he did was in Clue as the butler, who was basically the guy that ran the
Oh God, yeah.
My goodness, dude! He's brilliant. It's like I don't understand why nobody puts him in everything.
He was in Home Alone too.
Yeah, but he should be in everything. You should. This is a man you should hire. This guy should be doing what Bruce Willis is doing and be in everything.
Semi-retired now.
You remember? The last time I saw him, he was in a wheelchair.
Whoa.
No, because the last thing he was doing that he was really down with, he was doing he was doing a DC Comics villain from Apocalypse. I think called G. Gordon Godfrey for a Young Justice cartoon. That's what he was doing. He was having a blast with that. And in between the second and third season, he had a stroke. And
he still does voice work now because he's gotten a lot better. But yeah, he was very limited. I think he played Dr. Scott in that revival of Rocky Horror for Fox a couple of years back, if I'm not mistaken. Or if he didn't play Dr. No, he didn't play Dr. Scott. I think he played he played the investigator who tells the story,
the narrator,
If I may, to take you on a strange journey. That guy, yeah.
Oh, man, no kidding. Oh, Tree Rock Creations, yeah. Tim Curry as Doctor Who? F yes.
Oh, in his younger years especially, that would have been amazing.
God, that would have been so incredible. Oh, my God.
But the only role he lost to someone else that I know of was Mark Hamill for the Joker on the animated series.
That's true, and they still have. Isn't he his voice in a couple episodes, or no? Did they redo him? I can't remember.
They redid the voice, but I was really surprised because it's not on the Blu-ray. I thought they would have had some of the original audio recordings from the Blu-ray.
For some reason, I swear.
The only time I've ever heard that is on YouTube videos.
I was gonna swear it had to have been out there because I thought I'd seen it before.
And it wasn't even the original audio, actually. They just
Hello,
overdubbed
Saggy
other
Melon.
lines from him over the Joker to just give you an example. Of what
It says, I came here for Mexican Iron Man, but I stay for Culture Casino's hair. I whip my hair back and forth. Yeah, he's got like ungodly hair. Thank you for that.
Saggy. Saggy Melons is killing it. She made it to 1,000.
I am so proud of my girl Saggy. She's so cute. She's she's funny. She's cute.
a delight. She's
super
100%
intelligent.
real.
She knows her gaming shit like rock solid. You know, I love her to pieces. She's amazing. She's great.
And she's real. She's a real people, guys.
Yeah, dude. She's got no attitude.
She's not a robot.
No, and the other thing too, she's not one of these. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, she's smoking hot, but she's not one of these fake poser hot chicks that acts like she's not a nerd and is a nerd.
You know, she's a real people.
Totally real, bro. Totally. And
I don't believe you.
She is. And not only that, look. The really funny thing, fun story. She applied for monetization right away, and they said middle finger to her. And then,
really? Why?
Yeah. People rose up.
She's an android. Told you.
She's not.
No, I'm just kidding.
People rose up, and immediately after she appealed it, she became monetized. So roll by there, give her a sub. She's amazing.
If you follow their rules and you get what they say you need, why would they deny it?
Because they're assholes.
They do, bro.
They're like, oh no, we don't want to bring in more money for our company.
Well, you remember how difficult it was for you for a little bit there too, Jesse.
Yeah, you know what? But then, like, once I always had sitting around 10,000 watch hours, right? But it took me a while to get over 1,000 subs. But once I filled out the stuff, it only took 2 weeks for them to monetize my channel and send me all the stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Which surprised me because I talk a lot of shit about. I've had a lot of political streams, but we also talk about very lowbrow shit too. You
Go
know?
from talking about geek nerd stuff to the next thing you know, you're talking about fucking rotary phones. I told you that every time.
Yeah. Or something else.
Or something else. But yeah.
Speaking of rotary phones,
the thing that's really good for a rotary phone that you don't get anymore is if somebody's being a real dick in your house, you can't hit them with it. You all seen a pissed off woman hitting her boyfriend with a cell phone. Now imagine if that was a rotary phone. You get that nice ding.
That's assault battery. What are you doing? What are you talking about? Why would you think that way?
Oh, I know what the Saggy's talking about here. They said reason I reuse content, and I'm like, I do commentary, parody reviews, and reactions. Why it's used broke? Yeah, it's because you probably got a bunch of copyright claims. You'll have that. I had a channel that lost its monetization, and when I reapplied, they said that's the reason they wouldn't take it, even though it was a channel full of my old cartoons and behind the scenes crap and that kind of stuff. Yeah, they said that was the reason why they denied me. When I reapplied.
Sounds to me like that's racism.
Yeah, the channel had like almost 4,000 fucking subscribers at that time too. It was my channel before I got into Midnight's Edge.
Hey, has anybody noticed that Tom needs more subscribers? So if those of you out there in the world, those of you out there in the world that appreciate Mr. Tom here on Midnight's Edge After Dark, which is where we get to talk like sailors. You know what?
Poop mouth.
Yes, that. Just you know what? Every once in a while, just share this stream. It's gold. We have a lot of fun, and I actually occasionally will say a bad word.
When?
Well,
he hasn't. I think Six has clipped it.
When did that ever happen?
Oh, at least twice, I think.
Oh, that's like when I go on. That's like when I go on Pauly and Latino slant. I have to be a good boy. You know, Pauly like calms me down. He like reins me in because I'm like, man, I want to be as good as guy Pauly.
Project Cambrian appreciates my Tom's life of cheese. Well, I think he means love, but a life of cheese is also.
Oh, I love cheese. I love cheese. He lives where cheese is. He lives where they grow cheese. Tom lives where they grow cheese.
Saggy has never heard you swear.
Saggy.
I haven't either.
What do you think of Kevin Smith culture?
Oh man, what a fucker! I fucking hate that. Fuck. God, what a dick. Do you realize how much this guy is like? He's the epitome of everything that he called out years ago, right? He would kick his own ass right now. That's how he's a dick. Oh, D Bud Martin is gonna not appreciate what I just said.
He's bad at being phony.
Why is he a Kevin Smith fan?
No. He said I was too classy, and I just went on like a 4-minute tirade of bad words.
He just said the F word like 5 times. Yeah.
Hey, do it again.
Well, sometimes you got to drop the cordial shit and just stop fucking around. You know.
Yeah, I don't like doing it. It. You guys know me. It's like the minute that you say a bad word or you call somebody a name, you lose the argument.
Pat Finch,
because you.
I'm gonna have to go.
When the other person cries, they lose the argument.
I'm gonna have to go with au contraire on that one, Mr. Casino.
Au contraire.
I'm gonna have
unbeknownst to me.
I'm gonna have to use the big Southern words like au contraire, Mr. Casino, because let me tell you, when you start talking, you can say the bad words. The bad words have a very fucking effective way of getting the point across. Mexican Airman wouldn't even have rants if it wasn't for the bad words, the no words. Are you kidding?
I gotta get the no word thing.
Am I supposed to be like Eddie Murphy? What do you say with the filth and flarn and filth?
Flarn, filth. You cannot say filth, flarn, filth
It was
in front of people.
Flannery. No. Get it right. It's filth, Flannery, filth.
No, it's filth, flarn, filth.
No, it's filth and flarn.
And he said, you tell him from me.
So I called up Richard Pryor. I was like, hey, Richard. Like, hey, what's up? I said, Bill Cosby just called me, man. It's like, and he just said, I just said filth, farm, filth in front of people. He's like, and he said I shouldn't. He's like, well, tell Bill. He goes, do people laugh when you say what you say? Yeah. And tell Bill I said I had a coke and a smile. Shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
You cannot say words like filth and flarn.
Cannot say fuck in front of people.
I loved it so much. God dang. Do you realize he can't do that bit now? That entire set. He could not.
Feels like you're being chastised by your father.
But he could not walk out in front of people and do that same
San Francisco. Woo!
Oh shit!
Woo! I'm a siren. Woo!
Wait a minute. Jesse made the 70s Bush shirt?
Yeah.
I have to buy it.
I made a new store with a different email until they find out it's me.
They said Mr. T's here. He's gonna. I got the fuck up out of there because Mr. T could fuck me up, right?
Hey, woman.
But then I started thinking maybe Mr. T's dumb enough. Maybe I could use like the Jedi mind trick on him or something. It's like, I heard you did some jokes about me. No, I didn't. Guess you didn't. I'm gonna go beat up the food and tell me them lies.
It was Murdoch.
Oh shit. Oh man. Anyhow.
Wait. I did not know this existed.
What?
I didn't know that the Bush shirts existed.
Fuck are you talking about?
I made a 70s Bush shirt.
Oh, sweet. I did not know that. Send me the link.
Yeah. Okay.
This ain't no McDonald's.
This is not McDonald's.
I'm gonna make your burgers better than McDonald's.
I only made 4 products so far, but they're on everything.
You're like, shit, better than McDonald's.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna share this. This is the bong. I mean bomb.
You got home.
The bong is over there.
See when you're older, you want that greasy pepper burger.
That's right. There you go. All right. That's true. This ain't no McDonald's. There it is.
Sitting upstairs, you'd be like,
wait,
why does it say mom gets hit
there it is.
by a truck and dies?
The googly eyes.
Those are all real. I didn't blur them at all.
Oh, I can't.
And you can't even tell.
You ain't got fat kid size on there, man.
Yeah, they do. There's a 3XL.
I'm too big for that shit.
Oh my god, I don't believe you.
I do. I got like normally with this shit, I got to do 4 or 5.
Eddie, I want half.
I don't like the way you've been treating me.
You're not paying me my money like American woman. You're not.
Oh God!
I want what's coming to me.
You ever hear that? Just run. Block the number.
I want to be treated like
Foo-foo. Last month you was running around on a zebra naked.
Eddie,
I don't care what she looks like.
I want half.
I want half. I want what's coming to me.
Yeah, a bullet.
Mr. Fuck you, man.
Hey Tom, when you come visit, you know what we're gonna do? When you come down to South Carolina, we're gonna go gator hunting over yonder, yip yonder by where the gators are. It's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, Jesse, post the link in the chat, dude.
I gotta find
What are we
it.
posting a link to?
Oh, here it is. Never mind, I got it.
I'm surprised you didn't use the phrase bushwhackers on those.
Yeah.
You know what? The first time I ran the whole thing through and it took forever.
See,
I came back and it said that I violated their policy or whatever, so I renamed it Fuzzy Wuzzies. And they didn't have a problem with that.
Oh shit!
But these are not my new characters.
Zoom in so we can see a little bit.
They're inspired by the Fry Guys.
There you go. Is that better?
Zoom in, pan down. I want some bush. No, here we go. There we go.
They just run around going meat, 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 meat.
Dude,
a cartoon out of this now.
I need this. Yeah, we can definitely make a cartoon out of this. Oh my god, I'm going now.
Sarah smells funny today.
Because you could all you have to do is edit them out of pictures, and then you don't even have to design characters. Really.
What is that smell? What's that smell?
It's the 18-inch wide mouth with the circular rows of teeth.
This is why I told Andre every single show. Eventually, it's not even dick jokes. No.
Wait. Is this real or is this a joke?
No, this is real.
It's a real
t-shirt. Whose store is this?
Mine. I just made it. This is why my old store got banned.
I wasn't even looking at the screen. I was sitting here talking to the chat and focusing on. My whole window is the chat stream. I just turned over here to look at the screen. This is what the people in the chat stream are saying right now, Jesse.
Yes. Yeah. Those are all real 70s bushes.
Jesse, you're not selling this on your Teespring, are you?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh my God, no.
Like I said, it's like they're wearing pants.
It took us God knows how many weeks and months to get the members for Tom that we've gotten the last month and tonight. We're going to lose everybody. No.
Are you kidding? This will bring in more members.
Are you kidding?
This could be a great Halloween mask.
Wait. Hold on. Bro. Let's just say did you say buy this for the holidays?
No, it could be a good Halloween mask.
Okay, bro, let me just tell you this much. Look, I'm a grown man, and I don't want my mother to see me wearing this shirt. You know what I mean? She's gonna be like, "Me."
So don't wear it to her house.
Family reunion, you wear it to
the shirt is more like for church.
Party. Exactly.
This isn't a go to church T-shirt. There,
the pastor really liked my shirt today in church.
Look, if you're a carpenter, you can wear this shirt to work.
You can.
You really can.
You can make this a whole line of shirts, Jesse. That's what I'm saying.
I know it's on everything. It's on coffee cups and hoodies and everything.
You got Save the Bush. Saggy's like
Save the Bush.
Yeah, just focus on shirts on the individual styles of the 70s bush, and then give them like cute names.
You can have one with just a landing strip that said "I lost my hair."
Yeah. Jesse's not racist. It's available in black. So okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Darker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Oh. Wait, what?
Oh.
Wait, I can't use that line with ScarJo. What are you talking about?
Diverse bushes here, Jesse.
I don't know.
See, now, why is it 70s bush? Why isn't it like 60s or 80s?
No.
Because that's when it was furriest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude.
How would you even know, Jesse?
Even more than the Middle Ages. Surprisingly enough. I don't know.
For some reason, and Jesse's right, it doesn't matter. You can go all the way back.
What?
The 70s just had the bigger bush. Doesn't matter.
How would you guys even know this?
Because we watch a lot of vintage porn.
Oh, no.
Horror movies, man.
No.
Horror movies. No. It's like she's wearing a bikini. I told you. No one. I use this as a.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
What the hell is that noise?
What the heck was that?
Not me.
Somebody's dropping the beat.
Porn music, yeah.
That's porn. Okay, that's weird porn music. Isn't it more like higher pitch?
All right,
I was gonna say, yeah.
Oh God, Jesse, like where am I gonna wear this? Like I'm gonna. Okay, fine. Okay, Jesse, I have a question. All right, so let's say I order one of these shirts and show my support for your channel. Okay, I order one. Okay, so I can't take it to mom's house. I can't take it to the Taco family reunion, right? Obviously, can't.
You can wear it to the grocery store.
No, I cannot, dude. I'm on Hilton Head, bro. I'm on Hilton Head Island.
You can wear this to the barber.
No,
you wear it to the beach, and then you just
think about it.
This just go start conversations with random women.
Who are like, I can't go out tonight. I haven't trimmed. Right? They see somebody walking around in this shirt. They're like, that guy likes a hairy bush. I'm getting fucked tonight.
Yeah, wear it to the bar. Wear it to the bar. It's a conversation starter. This will make a girl laugh.
No, Mexican Iron Man is not wearing this shirt to the local bar in order to get chicks to talk to them. They barely talk to me as it is. Are you kidding me?
That's why you need the shirt.
No, purple.
Does it come
No,
with the
that's
blue
not
waffle
manly.
edition?
That's not a man. Do we have it in a? Is it available in a V-neck? Is it?
Yes, it's available in everything.
Hold on now. Maybe I like it. Let me hold on. The purple with the V-neck. Maybe. Hold on.
You could get a coffee cup for your job.
What about? Can we go with the dark red?
You're the boss.
Let me see it in dark red.
Let me
get it in dark red. Hold on.
What does it say on the back?
It doesn't. It doesn't need to.
Oh, it's in pink.
Oh shit. That don't work.
Okay, go to the dark.
Yeah, I added all colors. So
go to the dark purple.
Because I don't know what people like.
Well, dude, when you order the shirt, the lettering.
I like it in green or purple.
Okay. Well, no, wait a minute. I'm getting suckered into ordering this thing. No, wait a minute. See, I'm being suckered in. No, Shum, save me. DB Martin, pull me out.
I think culture and I need to help you a little bit with this here, Jesse. I think we could really
turn this into a cartoon show for
not
kids.
just that, but like there's potential here.
We can.
Oh yeah, you just gotta give individual names to each style of bush, pointy, hairy, Cindy.
The
Sticky.
The stripper.
I wanted to get one that was just like all matted with materials and just call them Sticky.
Oh. No, and
none of the other characters ever mention it. They just like go about it like it's normal.
Sandy vagina.
Sandy vagina.
Yeah. They would be the Star Wars fan. Sandy Vagina's the Star Wars fan of the bunch.
Yep, they're all. You can tell because they're all dyed blue.
Oh my god.
Okay, wait a minute.
I'm going to have to look at a lot of vaginas on the internet to take on this job.
Bush is your good guys, and then all the other ones are there you go.
Oh my god.
Wait. Hold on.
You have one that superpowers the power of invisibility.
Well then I want a shirt. I want Tortilla Bush.
I want the main villain. I want the main villain to be called Mohawk.
No. Oh no.
Wait. Stop.
Bush. Darth Bush works for Emperor Mohawk. I like this.
Okay. So how come I can't get one of these characters with a Mexican sombrero on it? Actually, no.
Will.
I'll work on it.
You know, dude, do you realize how easy taco translates into this? The 70s bush for the Mexicans won't even be a bush. It'll just be a taco.
No. Yeah, dude, there will be so many pink tacos floating around here. It's going to be ridiculous.
Oh, my God. I hope my mother isn't watching tonight's show. Mom!
I'm so sorry because she's probably at work.
Mikey's a virgin. Everything's fine. He's saving himself for a saintly woman.
Further proof that
I don't know where to go with this.
Whoa, ladies in the stream, fear not, for lo and behold, Mexican Iron Man is not a virgin. He is a man with talents and skills at black belt level.
Sure. But no, you got to have one character named George.
What?
George Bush.
Oh.
Or at least Martha.
No, it's a peen.
And he's got the crazy eyes, and he's just there to look all fucked up. He is in the movie.
He is. It is not just in the movie. It is definitely in the movie.
There's no going back on that.
There's no going back. We just brainstorming here. This is not a done deal. You talking about a googly, a goopy gremlin made out of electricity that's like animated and buzzes through the air? I like it. That is the most.
Yeah, burning bush. Right, Sander?
Bush.
The shit writes itself.
Okay, well, that's insane. You have one episode where you have like Sandy Vagina is one of the bad guys.
Oh man!
I got a question. If someone orders a three for $5 taco bush plate, does it come with dental floss?
Oh yes, it should.
That's the best part is we're gonna hire a lot of ladies because we need a lot of ladies to do voices, right?
We do.
So you know,
as well as character design.
We might be able to get an Oscar.
Oh, we should. Dude, we are going to have
for the diversity quota. Perhaps
nail diversity. We are gonna put it right at diversity. We're going to nail
a very special episode about crabs.
Oh yeah.
The only problem is that the production team is mostly male right now, so you got to get way more.
Oh yeah, no. We're going to hire Lorena Creole.
Easy. We just hire it out to Korea. So we just say a bunch
one of them could be named Honey Pot, and she could be a spy for the good guys, and she could be in with the bad guys.
But then she has a change of heart.
Yeah, something like that. Whatever. We'll just put all the best.
Think up, all hell breaks loose.
We're just gonna steal all the best parts of every '80s cartoon and make it about Bush.
Level event is gonna be the Great Sync Up.
Yeah. The great scissoring.
No. They all sync up with their cycles. It's all hell's breaking.
Oh God. Then the flow begins.
We nailed it. Funko Pop Bush. Freaking Larry for $2 gets me excited about a collectible for a change. Holy cow.
And you know what? All you have to do is go to like the
70s Bush.
Yeah, you just go to the Halloween shop after Halloween and you buy all their different wigs of the afros and stuff, and you just cut them up and you glue them.
No,
or Chia Bush, you know?
Chia Bush.
How are 300 people listening to this?
That is so meta right there. Chia Bush. It's a bush that grows a bush. Are you a genius? I think so.
Get him on the phone. Get him on the phone.
You guys are disgusting, and I'm ashamed that
it is not only in the movie, it is definitely in the movie.
Script Doctor, I want you to know that I am so sorry that you walked into this.
A spider bush,
of
course.
Shit. He's like writing down notes, I guarantee you.
No.
Well, remember, you have to have that one villain named Aunt Flo.
That's yes.
The great Script Doctor does many things. He's not taking notes about this right now. I can tell you that.
The fuck he ain't. He's helping. He just got himself a co-writing credit.
Oh, jeez.
Aunt Flo would be like the prophesizer of the great flow or the great deluge or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. It's like your Avenger levels event. Everybody syncs up. Oh, shit. That's like Aunt Flo's plan from beginning.
Then the sky turns pink and then red. Then the streets flow with blood.
I love this new character you're talking about, Aunt Flo. Sounds like just a terrible, terrible disaster.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And then you have all the products that are against the bush, like Lady Razor.
They have to travel to get the great tampon, yeah.
There's also like Lady Razor who tries to shave them all.
Wait. Lady Razor?
Oh, yeah.
Her power is the pink tax.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. You have
I like the invisible bush that you came up with, too, Script. All she does
the invisible bush.
Dude. It doesn't look like a bush, but when you get up close, oh, my God, it's a bush.
There could be a cult of different bushes out there that no one trusts, and they all wear chastity belts.
One that's shaped like a heart, one that's shaped like a thunderbolt.
There's one that's shaped like an arrow.
Mm-hmm.
An exclamation point.
By the way, I want to shout out to Tree Rock Creations, who aptly notes that this stream has been completely demonetized. In fact, at this point, I think I owe YouTube money for showing up. I mean,
I think Jesse's got more than enough to work with here.
Yes. I just need to, if I was only unemployed, I'd be able to do something with this.
Yeah, I was gonna say you'd love to do the research on this, wouldn't you?
Who?
Yeah, well, I made a thumbnail.
If somebody came across if you really had to do this and you were doing this like full bore, somebody would come across this shit. They would think you're some kind of psycho because you're sitting here digitally cutting out.
He is a psycho.
Do you want to see my search history? Because I had to Google a lot of weird shit for these thumbnails.
You know what, Jesse? I was gonna come pick you up at your house, but I'll meet you at the restaurant down the street.
Yeah. Why you don't want to see my collection of left shoes? They're all different sizes.
It always.
Collection of what?
My collection of left shoes. They're all different sizes. I got a giant pile of them in my basement.
Amazing bad guy, the Bushwhacker.
The Bushwhacker.
Jim Bob.
Yeah.
Then you have like the Captain America character called the Ginger Bush.
The Ginger Bush.
Yeah. She's very rare. There's only like one super soldier.
The Bushwhacker.
Lindsay says that we understand her. So this. See, there's already a female audience for this.
Yep.
Women want to see representation, especially their vaginas.
That's why I'm here. I bring diversity and inclusion.
There are incredible art exhibits that show you all the different anatomically correct areas.
There's one other bad guy that the vaginas really hate, and they all come together to fight. Ooh. It's a group of mouths called the cocksuckers.
Oh, no.
Some of them have mustaches.
Yes. That made it right there.
They're trying to co-opt the bush.
Oh no! Wait, you got the muff ticklers. That's the old.
Can we call the title of the movie "Fuzzy Wuzzies Under the Pink Hood"?
Bush Wars, Fuzzy Wuzzies Under the Pink Hood. There you go.
Yep. You have to have one more part after that, so the title is super long.
Well, let's just say Mexican Iron Man, like when the cars come in the shop, Mexican Iron Man likes them to have a nice, clean, waxy feel to them, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
But yeah, you got like 70s porn stash and goatees and beards that they can go after.
Yeah.
They just want to smother the bush
We want to advance and move forward. We don't want to regress and go backwards, ladies and gentlemen.
No. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, Bushmaster is another. That's actually kind of like that in between character. He's not really an antagonist or a protagonist. He's
really just a dildo with legs and a leather jacket.
There you go.
I would say you could bring in like the cocks, the dicks.
You can have like the Australian hat, the flipped upside.
You know,
Bushmaster.
Well, and then wow, you could bring in a lot of things like
you could Ron Jeremy to do the voice of the leader of the dicks.
He's
in jail.
No, he's not, is he?
Rape.
Mostly.
What?
Yeah, apparently, I don't know. Somebody didn't like it.
What? I heard him, like, people were accusing him of some shit, but I'm just.
I don't know what happened exactly, but I think that he gets enough pussy to not have to rape somebody. But who knows?
You said a bad word. He's mostly in jail. It's
which
grape.
one?
Grape. You're supposed to say grape.
Dolphin lover grape works better.
Struggle snuggle.
Struggle. I'll take that one.
Struggle snuggle.
You can have a bunch of like highway patrol mustaches called the Fuzz.
The Fuzz. And they're all super gay.
Oh wow. Incredible.
I actually have a policeman's Halloween outfit.
How are you still hungry after listening to this, Saggy? I don't understand.
She never said what she was hungry for.
Look. There could be a moment of like a coming together called the scissoring.
Yes.
Like the quickening. Yeah. There can be only one.
There can be only one.
Oh yeah, women like vagina doesn't like competition.
The scissoring is how you counteract the force of the great flow.
Yeah.
So everyone has to scissor to save the planet.
I can't breathe. Stop it! I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Well, breathe, Mike. Go get an inhaler. I can't believe we've only lost.
Yes, the scissoring. We're losing people talking about
this is what happens,
shit.
Saggy. Ask the chat. It always reverts down to dick or pussy talk at some point in the show. It just never fails.
No, the other day we talked about Betty White for an hour.
Well, or Betty White's
dude, we gotta have one called Gray Bush.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Oh yes, the ancient knowledge of the gray bush.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like that would be like Yoda, right? That's the Yoda of this world, this universe is the gray bush. We have to get Betty White to actually. We have to get her to actually voice the gray bush. It has to be Betty White. There's no other.
One of the big tough villains, one of like the big bads, has to be called Blue Waffle.
Oh.
Well,
hey, I'm going to contact Human Research. Do we offer group therapy sessions?
No. Dude, you just do like South Park and put that tiny little disclaimer at the front that says nobody should watch this.
Favorite time of the week.
You know what, Tom? But you know what? We have breaking news and an announcement that I was very hard. It hurt me greatly when you told me this yesterday. But apparently, I'm no longer welcome on your couch.
So when wait a minute,
you can.
What about like a dreadlock one from Jamaica?
So when all of these amazing bushes come together, they call that moment that it's kind of like a gathering of the council. They call that the tangle, right? When all the bushes come together.
The tangle. Okay, hold on.
No knots allowed.
Yeah, man, no got no bush on my face, man. Get it? If she wants to sit on your face, man, no got no.
I think we lost it.
All right, thanks everybody. Oh wait, I have an announcement.
We were doing really well.
We were for a second, and then it went off the rails.
Ah, man, I love it.
Yeah,
you know what?
That's Tom on the left and Script on the right. I feel
no. Script has all these ideas, and then we feed him some like really.
We are corrupting Script. What are you talking about? Berry bushes. See, she's getting in on this shit.
No. And Goddess of Whim is correct. Bush League. Yes. That's
the Bush League.
The Bush League. Yeah.
Oh, see, there's so much we can do with this.
Yep.
Here's another idea that will never get off the ground.
No.
Just make them all characters on T-shirts. That's how you start, and then you slowly build it.
Yeah. Oh no, dude. I feel like this is the beginning. This is our Mr. Hanky moment.
Howdy ho.
You've already given them googly eyes, then just give them some red lips from like Rocky Horror Picture Show.
See, and then you have the buttholes, but they don't like the cocksuckers, but they work together because they all hate the vagina.
And they're just as hairy.
Yeah. Look, and then there's this kind of like neutral group called the Taint, and they are like right in the middle.
No, that's neutral ground.
That's what I just said. It's like we're gonna be
like
at the
neutral
Taint.
land, though. It's not. Like
Yeah, no, and all the Taint does, they try to negotiate between the two parties. You know,
if anything, I think it'd be more like a barrier where the two can never connect.
Shouldn't that be? Maybe the Taint should be where they live. How about that, Jesse? What do you think of that?
Or maybe that's the neutral zone, right? The Taint.
Well, I said
like
that's the neutral zone. Otherwise, that should be like their planet. But then you got the boobs that are just a bunch of boobs.
That's true. You know, they're like obstructions. You know, like
they're the hills that have to be climbed.
They're the ones that have like
my boy Shum says
the
Bush
rite
League.
of passage. You know what, Script Doctor, you're right. Those are the rite of passage right there.
This is so much better than Sausage Party already.
Bush League versus Crotch Rot. Flame War, says Shum.
Oh yeah, there's tons and tons of STDs, and there's crabs. Don't forget the crabs when they come in.
Then you have the dangerous yeast infection, right?
I kind of feel like the crabs would be like sand people. Just saying.
Okay, I think we beat this bush to death.
Wow, I went out and turned out the tiki torches and turned out the floodlight.
You weren't
and
even
took a
listening
piss
to
and I
this
came
whole
back.
thing? We wrote you a masterpiece,
dude.
Well, it's kind of documented to the show.
Okay, you're right. You got a point.
Yeah, he can go back 10 minutes and listen to
you. Got a point.
Well, you know, it would be really easy to do these things in that character animator, I think.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
we're working, bitch, because we need to make money.
Yeah. That's the thing. I wish I could take like 2 weeks off and just like sit with Adobe programs.
Yes.
Right?
Don't forget to make one that's kind of like a square and call her like the boxer.
Oh, yeah. We could call her Barbara the Boxer, even.
There you go.
Boom.
Yeah.
All right, kids. I think we should wrap this up. Check out Valiant Renegades channel.
Yes.
Culture, you got anything coming up you want to plug?
Well, not that I'm going to talk about on stream, but no. Tomorrow I have. Tomorrow I have. Well, actually, I'm going over. Hey, you should come too, Tom and Script. If you're awake now, you should come over and hang out at Comics Division.
I probably will because I know he'll be talking He-Man, and he might want.
We are going to talk some He-Man and some other great entertainment stuff over on Comics Division's channel, which means I need to stay awake another several hours. But I had a great time. I wish you were here. Oh wait, you guys were. And I have the 6 Minute Daily every weekday. So technically it's not daily because I don't do it on the weekends because, you know, time off and things. But I still stream 8 days a week. So come and check out my channel if you haven't. Anyway, and then, of course, tomorrow before Friday Night Tights kicks off, we have the Friday pre-flight where you can hang out in the lounge, have an umbrella drink, and guess at what everybody's going to be talking about all weekend. And other than that, nah. I'm just going to do some analytic video that nobody pays any attention to on Monday. So, just it.
All right. And Script Doctor, anything coming up?
No, I'm probably have to go back to bed.
Dang it.
All right. And Mike.
A couple things. I got a couple things. Saturday, I got invited to co-host a show over on Loki Show. It's a pre-Echo based Star Wars talk show, 5 o'clock Saturday. So I'll be there 5 o'clock Central on Saturday. And want to thank publicly Tom and Andre for coming up with the idea for Midnight's Edge in Espanol. Recently got monetized. And Tom, you've been a great mentor and brother, and thanks for everything that you do. And Paulie made a big announcement with Tom that, hey, everybody, listen here. Coming up in August and September, 2 more amazing Midnight's Edge hosted by Tom and Andre, directed and produced by Paulie and with a little bit of my help. We're going to be having Danny Trejo and Edward James Olmos coming in late August and early September.
Danny Trejo is a fucking living legend.
So, yeah, Mr. Olmos is making a return where he gets the spotlight to himself. And yeah, the big announcement is Mr. Trejo himself is making an appearance. Midnight Bed after.
Oh, dude, and
he's a really great guy.
And
his story is amazing.
If you're in California, check out one of his donut shops.
That's cool.
Doesn't he have a taco stand or something like that too?
Yeah. Dude's amazing. I freaking love Danny Trejo, and
he does so many movies. He just says yes to everything so he could help people.
He's just bitching. All right, so check that out coming up, and then Jesse, you got anything coming up you want to plug?
Tomorrow night I'll probably run a live stream.
Besides the 70s push?
Yeah. But I did have an idea for maybe like a regular Sunday show, but maybe have all my wacky friends get around to do like script reads, like table reads.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
And, you know, it'll be funny. It'll always be fun. I figure maybe we could start out.
From there you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm figuring. I like that we could start out with like something that's more well known, and then start getting into the scripts that never happened. Yeah, exactly. Like get everybody comfortable to the to doing it, and then get into scripts that never happened.
Yeah, sounds like a plan to me. I'm on board.
I need a title though. I got work.
Well, as long as they're over 20 years old, you should be good.
Call it a table read.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
if you do anything within the last 20 years, some writer or agent's going to get upset because it's
Good point.
something they've been working on to get made or something.
Okay, we'll call it like the table
Copy
read.
that.
We'll start with something like Citizen Kane or King Kong, and then you move up to something else, and then
yeah, table read's a great one.
Just call it table read.
Sounds
The
good to
table
me.
read. The table read. There you go.
Yeah, you could spell it REED too.
Yeah.
Or
how about-
REID.
or the table weed, WEED.
The table weed. I like that.
So shit, we got to go back to past 2001.
Yeah, past 2001.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad at all, actually.
Should be
No,
good.
there's lots out there.
Yeah.
We could even do technically Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, and you probably have a lot of unproduced ones script, I bet.
Thousands.
Somebody needs to get me. I know somebody already tried, so I probably have it. That Nightmare on Elm Street script that Peter Jackson wrote.
Oh,
right.
That's just weird. I love it.
Did you ever hear about that one, Jesse? I can't believe they didn't make it. He wrote it for him just after Part 5, and instead they went with Rachel Talalay's idea for Freddy's Dead.
Well, I know there's so many different scripts.
Yeah, but this was the one that they were just about. They were like pretty close to making, and it was called The Dream Lover. And basically, it's kind of a similar setup where it's like Freddy has become like a joke in town. So like he lost all his power. So like kids will take like sleeping pills and get all fucked up just so they can go to sleep and go kick the shit out of him. And then he finally gets enough power to kill one of them. And then of course all hell breaks loose. But then like, yeah, there's like, it even had connections, I think Jacob's in there and stuff like that from Part 5 and Alice and stuff. I'd have to dig it up again, but
sounds like when my ex baby mama comes.
It was a really good idea. I was like, oh, that would be sweet, but yeah.
Oh, Tales from the Bush.
There you go.
Darth Maul, that's pretty
and
good.
on that note,
well, that's the best thing because then you can do all kinds of different stories. You could do like movie parodies and stuff with Bush. There you go.
There you go. For your table reads, you test it out, and then you do
God.
short animatics of the characters as Bushes.
Well, maybe we could tease them in the table reads, but there you go.
Bush
I still like
tale.
this idea of doing like table reads of classic scripts and unproduced scripts because there's all kinds of potential there. So yeah, we'll look into that, man. I'm definitely down for that. And with that, I guess let's get the hell out of here. Why not?
Oh, He-Man. He-Man.
Skeletor.
That's a dumb name.
Huh?
He-Man. 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 It's like the same thing twice. Why don't you just